give it clown, niggas daily listens. Feeding all the babies poison while they babysitting. People dying for the TV, even say they missing. You could peep the latest issue, got it loaded in the magazine. So woke, it's a wonder how I had a dream. Doing all these numbers like I had a whole data team. Labels can't believe a young nigga never had a team. Damn, talk about stress for a minute, cause I've been on my best for a minute. And I'm very happy that you listen. All my niggas been to prison, and I'm feeling very blessed that I didn't. Amen. Front page headline red, yet another black boy dead. But I can't hold my head till I can't fold my bread. Front page headline red, yet another black boy dead. But I can't hold my head till I can't fold my bread. Ever since I graduated, aggravated, agitated, might lose my mind. You can have all the rapping, all the passion, all the taxes, can't have my time. Since I graduated, aggravated, agitated, might lose my mind. You can have all the rapping, all the passion, all the taxes, can't have my time. Deep off in my motherfucking feelings, can't be still. No, a nigga can't be still. I've been swimming in this Henny, think a nigga need a refill. Come and ask us how we feel. I've been fighting pain since a preteen. Riding dirty in the bucket with the seat clean. Better know the street mean. Wade through that Mississippi water till my feet clean. Steady in the field, in the mud with the cleat sheen. I spit a bit for all my people who be struggling, I feel your pain. I came out the womb chasing money underwater, got me feeling like Kurt Cobain. Like, please tell your little black son that he really ain't a thug, for they lied to the boy. And if you feeling how I'm feeling, put your finger to the ceiling, ain't no chillin', we gon' ride for the boy, amen. Front page headline red, yet another black boy dead. But I can't hold my head till I can't fold my bread. Front page headline red, yet another black boy dead. But I can't hold my head till I can't fold my bread. Ever since I graduated, aggravated, agitated, might lose my mind. You can have all the rapping, all the passion, all the taxes, can't have my time. Since I graduated, aggravated, agitated, might lose my mind. You can have all the rapping, all the passion, all the taxes, can't have my time. Off in my motherfucking feelings, can't be still. No, a nigga can't be still. I've been frugal with the flow and I've been giving niggas refills. Come and ask us how we feel. It don't take a lot to see how little niggas pay attention. Think you joking, give it clown, niggas daily listens. Feeding all the babies poison while they babysitting. People dying for the TV, even say they missing. You could peep the latest issue, got it loaded in the magazine. So woke, it's a wonder how I had a dream. Doing all these numbers like I had a whole data team. Labels can't believe a young nigga never had a team. Damn, talk about stress for a minute, cause I've been on my best for a minute. And I'm very happy that you listen. All my niggas been to prison, and I'm feeling very blessed that I didn't, amen. Front page headline red, yet another black.
Welcome to the GRG podcast, where you get all the latest gaming news, hot topics, and more. With guest Triple Cup Chuck, Live Wires Gaming, 108 Dragons TV, Bloody Knuckles, Operations Op 100, live, and your host K Mega 405. The GRG podcast
starts right now.
No.
What's up, everybody? What's happening? We are doing it live, as you can hear. These damn fools up in here acting crazy. We are pretty light tonight. Well,
try to get loud, brother.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man! You had to be pretty loud to talk over me and Lemon. I'm saying.
I have to be. I have to be. So, as you heard, the battle-told man himself, Xbot 448, is in the building, and Hey, man, new guest. It's just kind of like, hey, man, some guys were saying it was going to be a little late, and we're a little short tonight. So I told her.
Yo, you put up the help me light, and this dude answered the call, brother.
Exactly. And you know what? I can always trust this man right here, Crispy Bomb. What's up with you, bro? What's happening? Welcome to GRG. What's happening?
Truly an honor. Finally got that invite.
Yes. Yes. Nice. Excellent. And then, of course, the Battletoad man needs no introduction, but I'll have to do it because he is a guest.
I'm considered a guest, man. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, you're a guest. You're a guest because the last time that you was on the show, this man had a different logo. So, of course, now and your voice could be mistaken as our own Bloody Knuckles, because
dude, don't you even do that, man.
So regardless of that, so anyway, welcome my man, Mr. Battletoads. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. Battletoads himself.
That was horrible.
X by 448, man. I don't have that high pitched voice. I got my nuts. They dropped. Go ahead, bro. What's up with you, X-Bot, man?
What is going on, brother? And so this way people don't confuse me with that imposter called Bloody. I'm going to say it one time. Battletoads! Mercy. What is going on, GRG? Yo, man, let's get it rolling. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Hey, man, you know what? You act like you in a hurry. So therefore, we won't probably have to
Dude, if you've seen the show I just came off of, I am so hyper right now.
Okay. So we ready to talk some topics. All right, I got you. All right. Well, let's get on to the next pieces of the puzzle to the GRG podcast, and let's go to my man Lemetheus from the Zeus. What's up with you, 108 Dragons? What's happening?
Life is good, baby. Shout out to me for being a great father. My daughter got 2 letters from her top 2 colleges. She got accepted. It's a great week. It's a great week for gaming news. We got some topics for you, but I had to shout out my beautiful child. Facts.
Nice.
Let's go.
Nice. Good stuff. All right, and then we moving on to our Rookie of the Year, which is our young cat. Man, really actually need no introduction. He's been here for a while with the family. But, man, go ahead and give a big shout out to my boy, Op. What's happening with you, man? What's going on?
Yo, bro, just been chilling for this whole week, bro. I've been playing Dishonored 2. Because I had my backlog all this time, but never booted it up. It was pretty solid so far. Like, if you're into stealth games, I think it's definitely up your alley, though. The combat, like, once you do get combat, it's a little wonky. I'm pretty sure that's not the strong skill of the game. But other than that, it's been pretty solid, man. Nice. And of course, today I was playing on COD on Super G. So that's all.
Yo, brother, I gotta play Dishonored 2. Like, I played Dishonored 1, and I heard 2 is actually a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fraud on it because I never played the first one. I just hopped right into the second one. I had it right there.
He was like, "Which one was good? All right, I'll get that one." Yo, right. Dishonored 2's on Game Pass right now, right?
Nah, 2 is destroying 1. It's crazy.
Yeah, 2 is on Game Pass.
It's destroying 1.
I don't think 1 is though, but I don't know.
No. 2 is. 2
okay, because I got 1. 1 was on sale.
So everybody in the chat can play the same game that Op is playing right now. What?
Hey, if you love stealth games, definitely boot it up. It's definitely gonna be up your alley.
Big shout out to Delilah and everybody else. So Shady, what's going on? Everybody else up in here, man. Thank you for coming out here. Six Slayer as usual.
UHD.
Yes, what's happening? And then we got our Donald Trump, man. He is here. He's ready. I don't know. He's got his mic muted. So
wait a minute. Wait. He on time?
No, we didn't start on time.
His time.
We on his time.
All right.
He got to go get Ken Starr. He got to go get he got to get
Mega,
all sorts of shit going.
Mega, if you ever start the show right when Live Wires gets into the hangout, you know you mad late, man.
No, he's been on time here for the last 3 weeks.
Dude, he shook that.
Nah, he on fire.
Yeah, 3 weeks. So
he's an 8-month baby, not a 9-month baby. He's an 8-month baby the last couple of weeks.
So he was due. He was due. But he might be dealing with little Ivanka right now. But hey, go ahead and throw out those dolphins. The Dolphin King will hear you. So, and hopefully he will unmute his mic. But anyway, let's get on to it, man, without further ado, because I know that these guys has already been doing another podcast, and so they're tired, they're hyped, they're whatever the hell is going on.
Back to control, brother. I gotta get back to control.
I get you. Good game. So let's start off light. Let's get on straight to it, talking about Forza 8. Now, there was an article that came out today that was pretty interesting, and it was basically talking about that they were going to have they were going to be at the show. Turn 10 were going to be at GDC 2020, and they were going to display the usage of ray tracing, which is pretty understandable because these new consoles are supposed to have ray tracing elements. But the question that I have is, with it having ray tracing, will Turn 10, which we know Turn 10, they don't get a lot of credit, but they've always known how to push the Xbox hardware. Now, will Turn 10 give maybe the best look of ray tracing, especially as demanding that it is, or will this be something that maybe it's just a startup and maybe they won't hit it like they normally have? I don't know. I'm going to go straight to my guest. I'm going to go straight to you, Bot. I know that you just itching for this.
Thank you so much.
I know
wait. What's up? Let me say one thing before y'all get started. My bad, Bot.
He just killed my vibe.
No. Listen. I got to shout out to Delilah for co-dropping 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate in GRG chat. You got to give her respect.
I didn't see that.
Come on.
I didn't see it.
But I saw it. Lemithia sees everything like the Oracle in the Matrix.
Then your ass
he's saying that because he won it. He actually already.
You better not be
I'm kind of maxed out.
Oh, okay.
I'm maxed out.
All right, cool.
I'm maxed out.
Hey, big
Thank
shout
you,
out
Delilah.
to you, Delilah.
Appreciate
We really
you.
appreciate it. Like I said, big shout out to y'all for y'all's 100th
And say who claimed it. Say who claimed it. Don't do what y'all did on GWG. She like, who claimed it? Nobody said nothing. I want to know who claimed it. Let her know. She put it out there. Let her know who got that pass. Facts for 3 months. Let's go.
Yep. Go ahead and claim that snot. Anyway, all right. Go ahead, Bot. Do you think that this will be that Turn 10 will implement it properly? Because you hear about this demand of ray tracing. It's not yet compatible fully with this new stuff and everything, or do you think that they will push it like nobody else has for the current gen, for this next gen that's coming?
All right, so let's look at this properly. First off, I think I gotta say, everybody in the chat gotta hit the like button, because if this is your first topic and you're warming up with basically the #1 racing franchise, the #1 racing development studio out there, this is gonna be one hell of a show.
Indeed.
With that being said, one thing I take from this article, and with Turn 10 being there at the Game Developers Conference, all right, I think they're going to show off their ray tracing solution to the point showing developers what can be done. And with that being said, if you're ever putting something on stage to show people what can be done, you're going to show the best implementation that you can do, right? Mm-hmm. So you have Turn 10 doing this. Racing games, especially beginning of the generation, is they always come out graphically pleasing when it comes down to it. And so I am looking at this with absolute excitement. I think they're going to show what they're going to be using for the next Forza Motorsport. I do not think they are going to show the next Forza Motorsport, though. I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Forza Motorsport 7 with the new ray tracing and everything like that. They're going to build, like they have built kind of like a playable section where they show people and they actually go in and show the ray tracing, how it's reflecting off the roads as compared to the windows, all that good stuff. I think they got it on lock. When it comes down to it, beginning of a generation, with it being a racing game, with it being Turn 10, basically the masters of the racing game at this point in time, you're gonna see something that I feel will be the best implementation, or the best way you're gonna see ray tracing at the launch of these two consoles.
Really? Okay, so you think that out of all the consoles, well, there's only two consoles that's going to implement ray tracing, this will be the game that's going to be at the forefront. It is at the launch.
Now,
right.
Now, remember, when they do the unveiling, of course, they're going to do the launch lineup, and in traditional fashion, they're going to show with what's coming in the future as well, because you want to know why you're investing into this brand new console, new hardware. So, but when it comes to the launch titles that come out, yeah, I think this is where you're gonna see the best or the most ray tracing, because when it comes down to it, racing games, again, at the launch, they're really pleasing to the eye. They're able to do a lot of things graphically, and that's what ray tracing is. It's graphics. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when it comes down to it and they put it up there, they want to show the developers out there that are working on titles, that are thinking about, where might they go, for their dev kit. And, even in the third party space, we've seen all the time games are developed with a particular box and then, ported over to others and stuff like that. So they want to really, hit the nail on the head when it comes to this conference. They want to get developers excited to develop for that system as well. So they got to put the best on the stage, and I think that's what they're doing with Turn 10, man.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, now Crispy, what is your thoughts about this? I mean, I know that they say that the ray tracing is really demanding. It has a lot of, it hampers down when people are trying to play these games with on the PC so far, and they're saying that like their frames per second dropped to like 22 frames per second. But do you have faith that Turn 10 will actually get it to working, getting Forza 8 to work properly and make it look stunning and be the best ever, like Bot said?
Absolutely. And, you have to look at Forza in general. There always seemed to be a graphical showpiece in general, whether it be Horizon or just the Motorsport series. And, it's just smart to use such, developers like them to, showcase such a thing, because in general, they have kind of experimented, at least with the shadowing aspect of ray tracing. And, that's something that can just lead to simpler applications rather than, completely hampering down the frames per second and stuff like that. So I think it's a smart move. Obviously, frames per second in a racing game is a big deal. So they're not going to want to show something that is not going to work correctly.
Okay. All right, cool. Straight to the point. All right, hey man. All right, and there wasn't.
Dude, I'm completely excited that they're going to be at GDC. You don't understand. I watch anything GDC every year, and a lot of times, man, it gets incredibly technical. I think it's how I've also learned some things about video game development, because I'll sit through kind of like the boring. The boring people on stage, going into numbers and all this good stuff and stuff that I don't necessarily understand at that point in time. But with watching it over the past few years, man, there's certain things I've got a pretty good handle on. So to actually have something where it's announced and you're not just like, well, I hope they show this, maybe they show this, and you're kind of looking for something that goes back to the console space. It's good to have something announced, man. My bad. Like, I'm excited, yeah.
No, I'm excited too. I mean, I'm you know what I'm saying? Turn 10, they don't get enough credit. Like, they are the ones that give the best showpieces when it comes to a launch game or any type of racer for that matter. They know the Xbox hardware like no other. But what about you, Lemon? What is your thoughts about this? Do you think that Turn 10 can do this?
First of all, let's just talk about this. When they talked about the X, the premier game was Forza Horizon 7. We saw bigger environments, longer draw distances, 4K 60, 4K textures, out the box. These dudes are top-notch developers. Ray tracing, for those who don't understand what ray tracing is, it's fancy reflections, lighting, and great rendering techniques. And being that this is the Xbox One Series X will have hardware dedicated ray tracing, which I feared if they tried to implement ray tracing without something dedicated to do it, would take away from next generation games. If anybody can showcase what next gen is going to be, Turn 10 is going to do it. Because still today, as much as I love Forza Horizon, it's a great, beautiful game. But when it comes down to the total package, Forza Motorsport 7 is still the pinnacle of racing.
Ooh, say it, man. Oh,
it's
yeah.
the pinnacle. Because, listen, Forza Horizon, great gameplay, great graphics.
You're going to get those GT Sport fans mad, man.
No, we're not doing that.
Don't do that.
Color saturation, Rec 2020, and people don't even know what that is. Y'all 709 dudes. Rec 2020. It is still to date the most visually stunning game. Now, what makes Forza Horizon stunning is the changing between the seasons. But straight 4K 60, 4K textures, Turn 10, the original studios, is stomping fire out of everybody else. I expect nothing but the best reflections, ambient inclusion, all types of anti-aliasing on different levels, no screen tearing. It's going to be an amazing feat. And I think it's going to hit that launch window because they skipped a year for a reason. I think it's going to come. I think Halo going to drop, launch title. And in the launch window, we going to get that Forza 8. And I'm telling you, you can't second guess anything Turn 10 do, man. They taught Playground Games how to make a racing game, and look what they did to their students with the Forza Horizon series.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
That's a fact. Like, they are some programming beasts. Like, you got top programmers around the world. Sony got some top programmers because let's go back to PS3. The Uncharted on PS3 was overachieving over the hardware. When you got a good quality studio with some real hardware, and devs not only develop games, they are tech heads. They want that new hardware. They want to say, yo, we want to push this. This is what they do. Man, Forza 8 and every generation, every racing game is the pinnacle of what a console can do. That's what it is.
It's the
Back
game
to
that
NES.
most quickly shows off
Right.
the
It shows off the power. Right.
Yeah.
Like back in the days, F-Zero on SNES.
Oh,
What was it called? Mode 7. That didn't even exist. They just named it something. But a racing game,
something.
it did. It wasn't even a real mode. That just was like some fabricated nickname. But a racing game shows what your console can do. I think Forza 8 is gonna be redunculous.
Okay.
I like that word, man.
Yo,
All
facts.
right, cool.
I really believe that.
All right, cool. Now we move on to Livewire. I know that I was introducing you. You know what I'm saying? The Dolphin King himself, aka no. You good? I know that you was taking care of business. I'm gonna go to you. I see 100 just now popped in the building. What's up with you, 100?
Hey, man. I'm watching Lakers. They played the other day, man.
They play, man.
Lakers are beasts.
Hey, man, I don't want to hear no Lakers ass kissing on this show.
Yo, Lakers, man, they fun to watch, brother. They fun to watch.
No, he don't want to hear it because they beat them the other day without Anthony Davis and LeBron. Stop bringing that up. My man is a host.
Don't
upset the host of the show.
We ain't doing that.
Upset the host of
You know
the
what I'm
show.
saying? I'm going to shut shit down. Okay, anyway. Thunder up. Anyway, now. Anyway, cool. Now, Livewire, what do you think about this? I mean, do you agree with everybody else about the possibilities of what Turn 10 could actually do with ray tracing, being basically the first console developer to work with it on hardware?
Well, I mean, listen, they the first ones to really push what the one could do. Everybody was calling this 720p box. You know what I mean? So you know that they're gonna, if they can get what they got out of the one. I mean, shit, with all the power in the world, and they don't need much. Man, they're gonna do something amazing for real. I mean, because they one of the best devs. They just slept on because they do racing games, but Need for Speed ain't doing what they did. Gran Turismo ain't doing what Turn 10 do. Like, don't get me wrong, Gran Turismo, they got, they do have a lot of detail, and that's the one thing they do have
In the car,
they have a lot of.
That's
detail.
it.
See, the one thing about Gran Turismo is their shortcuts are like out in the open. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
from
they
the
are.
time that's exactly it. Like they don't kind of like hide their shortcuts. I remember when they came out with like so many premium cars that actually had like interior graphics where you can see the interior. All the rest of the cars were just completely blacked out. They
Right.
leave their shortcuts like right out in front. And the thing is with Turn 10, any of their shortcuts are kind of like done behind the scene. You can't even tell. Because I remember, when Forza Motorsport 5 came out, like it was an absolutely gorgeous game. For some rhyme or reason, people started like pausing the game and spinning the camera around and trying to look at the audience. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Where when you're blowing by the audience at like 180, 200 miles per hour, you can't even tell the difference on that. So I think that's the difference there. Like the stuff that we see, like we remember those non-premium cars and we see kind of like the shortcuts. Where Turn 10, they are masters of getting the most out of the system, but then their shortcuts, you actually have to go out and look for them if you try to find them.
Yeah, you're right about that, Bob. Because I remember something similar like that with 2K back in the day when it was 2K versus Live. They'd be like, well, look at the people in the rafters. They don't look as clear as they do on Live. I'm like, look at the people on the court, motherfucker. Like, you talking about the people on the rafters.
Yeah.
You talking about the people.
Are you playing in a game looking at the nosebleed section the whole time? Because I'm pretty sure you're going to lose.
Bro, I'm over here playing a game. You talking about the people on the rafters, and your dude is dunking looking like Plastic Man and shit. What the fuck is going on there? Well, I'm saying,
Yeah. That's crazy. All right. Did you have anything else that you want to say? And let's get this out the way now because Bot is definitely in crossfire mode because he's just talking. So what we going to do?
I got warmed up, brother. I'm ready for GRG.
I know. So tonight, this is going to be open season. So the only people I think I have to go and I have to ask questions to is most likely probably Op and maybe Chris.
You got to get in on the conversation,
and maybe Crispy. But here, I guess tonight. Especially when we get to the later topics, it's all men for themselves. If you don't say nothing, if you don't talk, you don't get fed.
I'm not trying to change your format, brother. No, really, I'm not.
No. That's you know what I'm saying. That's exciting, fast, quick.
No, let's just keep it official.
Yeah, let's keep it.
If you leave early, I'm going to Connecticut. I'm on the next Chinese bus to your hood. I'm on the next Chinese bus to your hood.
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
we need you, Bot. We need you.
Oh my God. Anyway, so for real, what is your thoughts about this, man? What do you believe? Do you trust what these guys are saying, or do you think that, especially since Bot was the first one, do you think that he's full of shit?
Yeah, there you go.
Hey man, K-Man got an agenda, but I don't know, man. Like I'm not software techie, but like ray tracing, if it's as demanding as people are claiming to be, I got to take a wait and see approach with how Turn 10 are going to approach with this in Forza 8, because for a racing game, especially they are the top in their class, they have to maintain 60 FPS. That is a given. They can't be no compromise with the frame rate. So if they want to implement ray tracing and it could potentially hinder the FPS, then I don't know what they're going to do. And maybe have a mode we have ray tracing, lower FPS, or have it without it, have that 60 FPS or higher. But again, I don't know for sure. I got to wait and see with this because this is some crazy shit they're going to try to pull it. It's true.
I'm gonna step it up just real quick. Step it up one more notch with you. How about if they do, the 4K 60 FPS ray tracing, all that good stuff, but then they give you a mode where you can go 1440p and 120 frames per second.
I'm gonna drop something on you real quick.
That'd be dope. They could do that.
I'm gonna drop something on both of y'all. Next generation of TVs, there's no more 1440p 120 frames. These new TVs are doing 4K at 120. Facts.
Yeah, well, then they'll be able to
this
do
year,
it.
2020s, only the 2020s. But last year's 14. That's gonna be great.
I'm not, brother. I'm not bold enough to go 4K 120 frames per second on a console right yet, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not, brother.
You gonna have an X? You gonna have an X?
I'm not signing that check, bro.
All right, but this is the check that we will sign. Hey, big shout out to Infernal Lock. Appreciate you in the chat. Oh yeah. I know when to get in and when to not. Just, you know what I'm saying? I just be some dude sometimes on, just let you, until I get on my rants. But anyway, Infernal Lock, appreciate it, man. He says, so apparently there's a rumor that the Order 1886 sequel is coming on the new Xbox. That is a topic we will definitely talk about. That I can't.
It's not a good thing.
Ooh! It's not. Okay, but we'll find out.
Leave it for the topic, bro.
We'll leave it for that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna jump ahead, but that's not a good thing.
Hey, so anyway, so so go ahead and finish what your point was, Lemon.
I was done. That's
Actually,
not what
it was
I
Op.
mean,
It was
Op.
Op.
You mean Op.
Sorry. Go ahead, Op. Go ahead, Op.
Brother, I gotta help you moderate too now, man.
You
What's
know
going
what?
on?
No, but I am gonna say this. The reason ray tracing on next gen will be important is because it's hardware supported. When they tried to put it like on my graphic card, I got a 1080 Ti, and they try to do it software. You don't want software because software takes away from the overall processing of what the game totally is committed to graphically. So if it's hardware and it's something hardware dedicated, it doesn't take away from their vision of what the game should look like because it has a separate entity to handle that. Facts. That's why that's a good thing.
Okay, cool. What about you, 100? We haven't heard from you yet. I don't know if you heard. Did you hear what the topic was?
I heard that. I'm appalled by all y'all motherfuckers on this panel.
Okay.
Appalled. Why y'all talking about this? Ain't nobody got no TV gonna do no ray tracing.
We ain't talking about the
Yes,
TV.
yes, they do. Yes, they do. Stop. Ray tracing ain't got nothing to do with the TV.
No, that's 100.
Nobody gonna buy no damn. Nobody finna go buy no TV. Everybody ain't rich like you. I'm a billionaire.
He said rich like me. Yo, I work hard to play hard. I ain't rich. I gotta work for every dollar I get. Why I gotta be rich? Because I like to buy nice things.
But man, I told you I'm gonna go left, and you know I'm gonna go left, and this is the purpose you said.
But why you gotta go left on me? We both light skinned. No light on light crime.
No, I got New Year, ABG. Anybody can get it.
Oh man, you know what? I think everybody on the panel is light except for
the average consumer don't even know what ray tracing
100 is khaki.
Oh,
they don't even know. Man,
you light skinned too,
Live. They don't even know what. They don't even know what a frame. They don't know if they got a 120 monitor or they got a 120 TV.
This subject is not about me though.
Okay, but hold on.
I'm going to the lower. I'm going to the scum. I'm going to the lower. I'm going
into the scum.
I think so.
I'm going into what you call it. I'm going into the what was that game that didn't get made? Star Wars 13 or something. I'm going down to the poor people.
The topic was not about the TV. I know that you should be here, Lemon, talking about TVs. This was about.
I'm just talking about the future. You can't get mad at me. I didn't make CES. CES happened.
I didn't hear. I came in. I apologize. I apologize to everybody. I thought you were talking about.
You fine.
He about to kill me.
Oh, wait. Shut up for a second. All right. The topic was about Forza and Term 10 being a GDC. They were saying that they were going to show them using ray tracing. And so my question was, do you believe that Term 10 could be the first ones to implement ray tracing on the console and make it look proper, like for instance have it 4K 60 frames, or do you think that it might be less, or do you think that they're capable? That's what the question was. Lemon talking about TVs.
4K, ray tracing finna come on the X.
I know,
so
that's what I'm saying.
They do it on the series.
Well, I'm asking you, do you believe that it will?
Hell yeah, man. We talking about Microsoft.
Okay.
We talking about Microsoft.
All right, okay.
Come on.
But K-Maker, you should have said, do you think
they have games running 4K 60 now?
Mm-hmm. Oh, but ray tracing is a different type of beast, though. But that's
man.
fine.
I'll put it this way: they have a great group of engineers that know what the hell they doing. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They know what they doing. They know how to figure out their box. They help make this box.
Facts.
The Xbox S, the X. They know how to make this box. We do things that the competitors can't do.
Okay.
None of their games ain't running 4K 60. 1440p.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. No, Term 10. Everything, I put this way, anything Forza, especially Term 10, they up the ante every damn time they get put on prime time. The games look gorgeous. Why even NASCAR and a bunch of Ferrari, what's that, F1 and stuff, they use Forza as their model to
Facts.
I don't hear they actually Gran Turismo.
You see 100? That's what I said.
The X dude and I bleed green, make it green, but I'm just keeping it real.
Gamma green.
What you say, Lemon? I'm bringing you the facts.
Right.
So I'm bringing you the straight facts. I don't see nobody running Gran Turismo. Was that Dry Dud and all that? Yeah. I don't see that.
Come on, man. You can't be calling these games names,
I got to throw
bro.
shots on my Xbox, so I got to do it for my community, man.
Big
That's
shout
what I
out
do.
to Showstopper.
They look up to me.
Hey, what's up,
thank you, man.
Showstopper?
I'm
Good
about
to
to
see
say
you.
They
the
look
same
up to
thing,
me.
Yeah.
They look up to me, man. They look up to
Jazzy
me. I
Jules,
told you I
what's
took
up
over
with
the
you,
mantle
fam?
of responsibility, so they look up to me. I got to throw something.
Oh my
And
goodness.
think about it, I'm not even 100% right now because I'm sick.
Yo,
That's
Lemmy,
why I
you
said I
just
had to
call
go make a
himself
post.
Cortana?
I had to go to CVS to go get me some
Mr.
medicine.
Kima, what's up with you, man? All right, okay, cool. So let's get on to the next topic, man, because I mean, right now it's already going left. I don't know if we sound like we haven't. We're gonna have.
Yo, it went
sermon.
so far left. Left-handed people rejected it, man.
I
Like,
know
that-
they
it's that
backhanded.
far.
They backhanded.
Yeah,
So
backhanded.
I gotta retrieve it. I gotta pull it back. All right. So let's get to the next topic, man, and let's talk about Sony skipping E3 yet again. Let's get straight to it.
Well,
Now, it's been, it's been well known. It happened earlier this week. I made a rant video. Of course, I gave my thoughts on it. There was quite a few people that didn't like it. There was quite a few people that thought that I was right. But that's not for me until later if I want to do another rant. But this is for you guys to get your points of view on it. And let me get your thoughts about it. Let me go straight to Crispy. Do you think that it's a smart strategy for Sony to go ahead and to get out of to pull out? And what do you think that it is?
That pull-out game.
Yeah, get that pull-out game. You know and what do you think about the situation with E3 being dead? I don't know if you've ever been at E3 or not, but does it make sense to you that they would be pulling out, or is it one of those things where it's just Sony might be in trouble? I mean, I don't know. Give me your thoughts about anything about this situation, Crispy.
Sony's not in trouble. I mean, let's get this straight. The thing that you have to look at is, the cost for floor space, what they're actually going to be able to show. Like I said, I went back to 2018 and, everything that they've shown in 2018, they would have had to show again and again these past 2 years. Mm-hmm. And, unless they're going to go 4 to 5 years out, which I feel like they're trying to dial that back a bit at this point. I mean, you've done this so many times that people are starting to finally call you out on it, with games. I mean, you look at most of their exclusives, they've announced them 4 years ahead, if not longer. So it's an interesting concept because, they get so much social media, likes and shares and everything that, basically they say, okay, we get enough mind share off that. Why are we going to spend the money on the floor space? And then, I hear a lot of things about, the way it is now at E3 and how it's not the same. Obviously, you've been there, better than me. But in general, it sounds like what Microsoft has done, just going across the street and doing their own kind of little thing that's still kind of part of E3. That's seems to work better for them, and Sony doesn't seem to want to spend the money to even do that. So you take it as you like it. I mean, it sucks for the people that are going and they wanted to see the Sony show, but in the end of the day, they're probably just saving a ton of money.
Okay, all right. Now, I mean, do you think that the whole situation with Sony pulling back, now they only had one show that they went to, I believe, last year. Now, is it that you also think that they might not have anything else to show? Or is it that you just think that, hey, it's just saving money, just going there? Do you think that it's right for them to pull out the way that they did? Or what? What do you think, Crispy?
I think it's a big mistake, to be honest with you. Okay. I think that, they're kind of just saying, well, maybe they don't have exclusives coming out, soon enough in their eyes. But I also think you have to be able, if you're going to have a conference type design going, you got to understand that if you don't have multiplats to fill in those spots there, what are you going to have, an hour show, and you're going to spend all that money to do, to have it happen? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And I think they're having trouble getting a lot of these multiplats to get on their stage. And that might be the reason why they said, you know what, we're not interested. I mean, when I saw Cyberpunk on Microsoft stage, I said, this is a big deal. And you don't see any games that are really being hyped up. I mean, you'll see the Call of Duties and stuff that have been on PlayStations. But even in 2018, they really didn't have any multiplats. It was all their exclusives. And if you're just going to show the same exclusives again, or you're going to throw a number 2 in there on maybe 1, or 2 that are going to come out within the next 3 years, you might not want to do it, so.
Okay. All right. Abad, I'll get to you right after I
I'm
gonna go to 100.
I reeled it back in, brother.
That's fine. I'm gonna go to 100 on this one. Gamma Green 100. Do you think that Sony made a mistake by pulling out of E3? Do you think this was a good strategy for them to pull out of E3?
Hell yeah, because they finna get buried. They didn't want no smoke. They didn't want that, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want that gamma gas, you know what I'm saying? Because think about it, we didn't miss Sony last year, to tell you the truth. Remember I sent that picture? I said, remember the year before? Mm-hmm. I sent it, and Sony had the big presence and all that, and I said, hey, I'm representing Sony, you know what I'm saying, showing Sony some love, and then I did it this year. They nowhere to be apart, but guess what it did? It gave more indie people. How much, people don't understand, like, it gave smaller companies and smaller businesses, how many people that was trying to give us deals, like, man, you want to buy this, man, you gonna get this gaming chair, man, they charging you $350, we do it for $175.
Yeah, they was trying to,
they was sitting there like, man, we got this and this and that. It look, that big old, what was playing, Marvel vs. Capcom, that big old machine, the one-up machine, stuff like that. It felt like it wasn't all crunched up. Because, see, Microsoft used to be on the side in like in a corner. So in the corner, and then, bought all that big space for, and I don't know why they big the space, because they didn't have really no games to play. It's a bunch of this video that was playing. But think about it, people don't understand, Sony is going under reconstruction. You know what I'm saying? Jim Ryan, whatever his name is changing stuff up. He did a coup. He got Yoshida. Did you get Yoshida out? You didn't pull the coup. He done found something on Yoshida. Sean Layton.
Okay, so you said, oh man, you talking about you got some dirty laundry on Yoshida? Come on, man.
You don't usually get that to him. You don't usually get that title to her. I mean, Sean Layton had it, but you see Sean Layton gone. He ain't said a word. Only person that's still safe right now is Mark Cerny. And when they allow him to come out that basement with that PlayStation 5, he better come up real.
Gamma Green, Lord have mercy.
He better come up real. But no, I love competition. I want them to bring the best. See, think about it, it's like I'm a Laker fan, and they the Clippers. They the little brother to me.
Oh no! See, now I can't allow you to get on here and
say that. You know, they the little brother
to
me.
When Sony themselves,
I've been getting greatness.
They have sold more.
I ain't been getting no third party.
They have sold more consoles than the Xbox.
I don't care what you can. Man, okay. What's my favorite? What's my favorite saying? What's one of my favorite saying? Just because a woman, you know what I'm saying, this woman got champion winning on her chest don't mean that she no winner.
Okay. All right. Okay. So again, 106 consoles sold, bro. They went and they showed.
You got 106 million consoles sold, but you only got 35 million on PSN. So everybody just paying offline. Let's talk about VR. What VR got? 5 million. You got 100 consoles. If I'm an investor and you do the analytics, it don't work. I'm not invested in that company. That company is losing money. PlayStation is keeping that company afloat, and Spider-Man is keeping it afloat. You saw what Marvel did. Marvel said, "Well, we got to restructure. You want us to do a movie? Nah, it ain't no 80-20 no more. We can go 60-40, but not no 80-20. Or you won't have us. You just won't have us do it. You do it on your own."
All right, come on now. Let's give it up to my man, Steel Knuckles. He said, cut the bull. Sony is stalling because they don't want the weak-ass PlayStation 5 compared to the X series. PlayStation 5 weakness awaits. Lord have mercy. See, now, this is for the chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the donation. Now, listen, look, what is your thoughts, 100? I mean, do you believe what he's saying? I mean, do you think that it's a stall tactic?
I'll put it this way. See, a lot of people don't want to say it. I'm 100. See, y'all didn't make my toothache go away and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it a buck right now.
Okay.
Microsoft already knew what Sony was going to bring to the table because where PlayStation Network going on? The Azure service.
So yeah, to the service.
So you want me to help out and build your network infrastructure? Yes, I can use big words.
Okay.
You have to show me what you bring to the table so I can help you with your network so it won't go down for maintenance. So you can be just on par, just like us. So when we cross play, you don't drop out my consumer because now you my customer and I got to make sure that you stay on point. Because my customer going to get mad. Like every time PlayStation get on, I can't this and that don't play Call of Duty. See, it's a whole different game because this is a business. Neither company don't give a damn about our console war, to tell you the truth. None of them. It's about putting money in their pocket. And I think Jim Ryan, Jack Ryan, you know what I'm saying, the double agent and all that, I think he's seeing that. I got to dance with the devil because the devil been working because the devil's putting in revenue and profit. They making money. They coming up with ideas that's changing the game. How many of y'all told me? I told y'all day one, Game Pass gonna be fire, and I got ridiculed. I got baptized. They burnt me like Jesus.
Oh my God!
I had to resurrect.
Oh man! Big shout out to Thomas.
It's the mess going on. So
my goodness! All right,
it's the mess going on.
Hey, my man Thomas Franks, man, what's going on with you, bro? He said, "GRG, what's up, brothers? Let's do it live." All right, we're doing it live, man. We doing it. All right, Bob, I'm gonna go to you now.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that it's a smart strategy for Sony to do this, or man, do you think that, like, hey, just like the chat said right there, that maybe Sony might be stalling? I know that they're going to have a reveal, supposedly in March, and they're going to have this event in February. Now that's supposed to be a solid thing. That's supposed to be definitely happening. But do you think that they're stalling? Do you think that they're in trouble? I mean, give it all to me, man. Let me know what you think.
All right, here's the deal. First off, this is like just bad news for gamers in general that Sony's not going to be at E3. Whenever I talk about E3, I've stated it time after time. I look at it as kind of like that the mecca of video games where everybody, regardless of what system you prefer, can come together and check out the things that are coming into the future. So I feel like all these corporations need to be there. All right. I feel like Nintendo, I feel like Sony, and I feel like Xbox. I feel like they need to be there and represent. Now, when it comes to what Sony said, the reason as to why in the article, if this is true, I got to side with Sony on this, because what Sony is saying is basically they felt like E3 was going to be a more consumer-based conference. Like it was evolving into something like Gamescom or PAX, but on the E3 level. So like completely open there. It's all about the consumer and the gamer, and it didn't hit that mark. So since it didn't hit that mark, it's not there yet. They said that they're not going to be there. So if what they're saying is true, me being a gamer and a consumer as well, I got to side with them, because I would love to see E3 open up the way Gamescom, because they can still do their conferences, all that good stuff, be completely open to the public, have so many hundreds of thousands of gamers going in there and checking stuff out.
Bob, it can't happen.
But I'm just saying.
What I say it can't happen is the fire marshal gonna be out. They did it before. But that's why they charging consumers. I mean, that's why they charge people like me, you, and stuff like that, and they can cap it out, because people saying that, no, Gamescom has a bigger venue and everything. We're talking about the convention center. Yeah, we do laps around it because we know how to do laps around it, but it's not not like you say,
but
open
still,
to
like I said, if that reasoning is the actual reasoning for it, and I think people aren't kind of like reading between the lines on that. I'm not sure if that's actually the reason.
Now let me interrupt you.
I do have to stand by, because I'm not hearing anything else anywhere else.
So let me make this point to you right here. Now I don't know. That might seem legitimate. I don't know, but to me, I don't know. Well, let me just make this point though too. 108 op 100. We been there. And the time that Sony was there, for real.
Somebody's signing me off in the chat right now.
Thanks for coming out. No, somebody actually came in and they said that it seems really weird because they don't have an open platform for you to come into to check their venues. Like they only have.
You want to know the test? You want to know the test for me? And this is what I'm waiting for. I live in Connecticut. PAX East usually happens around like February.
March 24th to the 27th.
I was going to say February, March area. Like it does move around on the calendar. So with that being said, you want to be in these hundreds of consumer venues, consumer conventions and stuff like that. I hope you're in Boston then, because you haven't been up here. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to commit yourself to the smaller venues, the more, as they say, consumer-based or gamer-based venues and stuff like that, then that's going to be a test for me. Are they going to be up in Boston in some capacity showing something for the PlayStation and stuff like that? So to me, the jury's still out. I'm going with what they're saying for now because that's the official statement.
I can't co-sign that.
I gotta say,
I can't co-sign that personally. Now, I get what you're saying, and if it's true, then it's true. I will be the first one to say, look, Sony was right. But from being there, and big shout out to Steel Knuckles again. He said Sony is lying, Xbot. This is why I think that's fraud in the public. For this reason, is that we've been there. And they had their show, and I was excited the first year that I went because I'm like, oh man, I got to find some tickets to go to to try to see if I can find some tickets to see the Sony event. That shit was private as hell, and nobody could get into that tent with the man with the flute anywhere.
You missed the flute.
Yeah, I missed the flute. I had to watch that shit on TV. I had to watch that on TV on a live stream just like everybody else did, except for the certain few that they allowed to get in there. Now, also another weird thing that was there that was going on when they were there is that once you go into the main hall, it's open, but there's certain thing that's open. This is what was crazy. They didn't have anybody at the Call of Duty 4 line. Nobody. Just a guy standing there. And so I said, hey, is there a way that we could go play? Are you media? Nah, I don't have no media credentials. You can't come in here. There's nobody here, sir. Can we just get an opportunity just to play the game, just to check it out or take a picture or something? If you're not media, you can't come in here. I'm like, well, why you have this right here where the fans can try to see this and you can't allow to get it when there's nobody here? Like, you got like 14 booths right there, 14 games right there sitting right across, and then right across the way that you had I couldn't think of the other game that Spider-Man across the way. And you're telling me that, like, if people wouldn't care about playing Call of Duty, then, you know what I'm saying, they just got to keep moving? Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, fuck. Like, so certain things like that to me was kind of like, damn, it almost acted like they didn't even care. And then when, like, they had a tent outside, they didn't even have the modern baseball game at it. They had like the years before model. Like, they act like they didn't give two shits about being there. They even had, 108 was bigger than the Kratos that they had there. It was crazy.
But see, I
do
hear
that.
you, brother.
Don't do that, King Mega.
I mean, no. Tell me you what man, that Kratos brother. Looked like, man, that Kratos was about 5'11". You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? With some muscles.
Remember that picture I put up? I said living is bigger than Kratos.
You have a different perspective than I do. I haven't been there and stuff like that.
But it just seems weird to me.
Here is something. This is something.
You got to think about this too. Like, I need to go out to PAX East. I need to go to PAX South and all them different venues instead, because I live in LA. I need to get out there. You need to get your ass out here.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
But I got one question.
But see, here's the thing.
Are you coming?
I'm trying. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so we got you then. If you try,
all right, brother.
We got the rest. We got you.
You know, the other half of us is going to be there. The Don. He's going to be there.
No.
I hope he be there.
He's already
looking like Charlie Brown with a baseball cap.
No, my boy looked like John B. Was great dental plan.
Last night you said, boy, E-Rock said the same thing. He's in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
nice.
He said, "Why?"
Dude, I haven't talked to E-Rock in such a long time,
He
man.
got off the grid. We got him off the house last night when I was on my way coming home. No, but he was sitting there like, why they can't move it to New York? Why they can't go 1 year in New York or 1 year here, 1 year in Philly, 1 year in Texas, 1 year in that. But I'm like, sometimes they make deals.
I can't see, after being at E3, I can't see it being moved like that.
Yo, real quick, just what I'm saying, and this is where like patience is a virtue. That what happened here, before everybody gets all upset and starts making like, kind of like crazy accusations and stuff like that on social media or whatnot. What happened here, if you look at it honestly, is Sony backed themselves into a corner with something that they have said. Yes, they're not being at E3, and I already shared my disappointment in that. I already shared what I thought E3 was and how all these companies I feel need to be there for the gaming community as a whole, right?
Absolutely.
But they backed themselves into a corner by saying that they're going to focus on like these hundreds of smaller consumer venues and stuff like that, and they're trying to say how they're for the consumer, they're for the gamer in that manner. Well, guess what? Now you backed yourself into a corner where you got to do that. You see what I'm saying?
They're gonna do the same. What they gonna do the same thing like CES?
But if they do the same thing, well, like if they don't commit to these other venues and stuff, and everything that they do is just their own stuff, then they were obviously lying, and I will call them out on that. And I know people out there on social media, they'll come back at me like, "Oh, why are you bringing that up again?" and stuff. It's like, because I went with their statement, and I'm holding them to their word. Now, if they don't do that, if everything that they do is just sponsored by Sony and they're controlling the narrative and all that good stuff, that's when I feel people can come out and really kind of hammer home that the fact that they absolutely lied about one of the biggest events in the gaming industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going to make a point to that, but I've got to go to I'm going to go to Op on this, get his point of view on it. Where are you at, Op? Do you look at Sony as being shady with this, or do you think there's a legitimate excuse for them not to do it? Now, also, what I haven't heard yet is that there's also rumors been going around that Sony has had a problem with the ESA, which is the people that's in charge of E3. And so do you think that Sony might have a legitimate beef here, or do you think that they're just, like I'm just saying, fraud in the public? They're just over here trying to do their own video, thinking that they're bigger than life, trying to get out there and make it all about them.
It could be a smidgen of both, really, though. Like there could be issues within the ESA, but also at the same time, they needed a reason to possibly back out E3, so they justify them doing their own events at the same time. But at the end of the day, like, they're snuffing their fans at this point. Yes, you're doing hundreds of shows, but at the same time, you're kind of watering down your content there at that point, because like, it's not special. If you're prostituting yourself to be everywhere, why get hype? What's the point? It's like Xbox still having an Inside Xbox every week. No one's gonna give a shit at that point, because you're gonna have a bunch of fodder content during the show. So like, I don't know if I want to say shady, but it is a little spooky. Like, for all intents and purposes, I'm just being petty right now. Maybe that Insomniac acquisition cost more than we think, and they had to back out a couple shit going forward.
That has been a rumor as well. Steel Knuckles, man, thank you so much, man, for supporting the show. He says, wow, on Next Gen's videos, Whack Ponies be crying about Series X popping on PS5 like slugs getting salt poured on them. Wow, bruh. This show is going to probably get a little deeper.
I love how you changed that to popping, by the way.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Pooping. My bad. Yeah, pooping. But yeah, no, I mean, look, it's not a fact that like the PlayStation stands are going crazy right now. And I think when we get to the topic about Horizon Zero Dawn and the Order, I think that's when we'll get deep.
Can't wait to assassinate these dudes.
Yeah. I think that's when we're going to get deep into the nitty gritty about the deeper root of the problem here. But continue, Op. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, man.
Oh no, but that's pretty much just the gist of it. Like, at the end of the day, they're really just, to the degree the content their fans, they'll give a shit about them. Because let's be honest, like, they use and abuse them this entire gen. Like, they really just came out with some bullshit, and their fans came around with it. And now look at them, got egg on their face because they've been hyping up and down these ridiculous narratives for over a decade, for the past 6 or so years right now. And look at them, like Sony's literally just turning their backs on them from a narrative standpoint. All these niches, all these niche new processes they're pushing forward right now. So, I mean, it's just sad at this point, but I really wish they would be there because it'd be cool for them to show up again and just have a big presence like they had before. But like, it seems like from now going forward, that might not ever happen again. So, y'all gonna have to get used to these state of play shows.
Yeah, I mean, that's another question. Live, do you think that this is the last time that Sony is going to come to E3? You think this is over for Nito Kitons for Sony and E3?
And that's what it sounds like based on what they wrote. So, I mean, you typically don't write shit like we don't need you anymore, and then show up like, well, like usually that's not what happens. But I want to talk about how a couple of things. One, I've heard people say PlayStation is bigger than E3.
That's funny.
Because they can, and the reason why they say that is because they don't need E3 to get people to buy their products. That's fair. Marvel doesn't need Comic-Con to get people to go see their movies.
Oh,
let's not do that.
No, that's a great point, though.
But
nobody needs anybody.
No, and understand that. But what I'm trying to get at is, look at it this way. E3 has evolved from what it used to be, right? Mm-hmm. It's more of a fanfare type thing, which all these shows basically are, right? Mm-hmm. They could, Microsoft, PlayStation, Nintendo, they could all just put their stuff up on, social media, and people could find out that way and then do their regular marketing. They don't need the trade shows. But what generates hype is the trade shows from, as far as your base on up. That's how it goes. To me, E3 is like, not going to E3 is like somebody telling me that, we're not celebrating Christmas this year. Now, do I need Christmas to get stuff I want? No, I could buy whatever I want anytime I want. But somebody telling me I don't, that'd be like my wife would just come up to me and be like, guess what, we're not celebrating Christmas no more. That doesn't mean she ain't gonna buy me shit no more. But it's something that I'm not getting, that I'm so used to having. I'm just like, fuck.
It's traditional. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it just fucks with you. Like, damn, like I'm not gonna celebrate this shit, as far as a gamer by myself. It's not something I might be able to introduce to my daughter because it won't exist. You see what I'm saying? Like, this shit is fucked up.
Yeah, that's a great point. No, I'm not. Hold on. Let me go ahead and pay the bills again. Still Knuckles, man. He's on a roll, man. He's on a roll. He said, did anyone see Pony's Damage Control, the logo? Man, we gonna break all this down, man. So hold on to your money, man, because you gotta go hear a whole bunch of stuff.
I think he saw your topics list. It's kind of weird. Like,
yeah, I think he did.
I'm gonna finish my point, but keep on going.
No, go ahead. No, he's done. Go ahead.
All right. So this is the thing that's going to really sting. Mm-hmm. Xbox is still going to be at E3. This is going to be like when the kid next door his family decides to become Jehovah's Witness, but your family still celebrates Christmas. This motherfucker's going to be looking through your window like, God damn, this is some bullshit. They got a big ass tray. Look at all them gifts. Fuck. And he got to sit there and wait till his birthday to go get some shit. With our shit right now.
Luckily, my birthday's in January.
Oh man, yeah.
No disrespect to people that are Jehovah's Witness, but
Oh, I'm not Jehovah's Witness, but I don't.
I'm not saying but some.
I hear what you're saying, though, brother. I'm with you.
It's like damn, like something being taken. Like if you're born that, if E3 never existed, obviously it'd be fine, right? But if you're so accustomed to it, somebody just taking it away from you, no matter how much they want to damage control, because guess what? Somebody giving you a gift randomly ain't the same as you getting a gift on Christmas. Just not. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, but it ain't the same. Because that's basically what PlayStation is saying. We're going to come around. You know what they're going to do? What they're planning to do? Remember what Xbox did at its launch, where they drove around the country with the trucks and shit?
Oh yeah.
That's shit they talking about doing. Don't get me wrong, that's cool, but nobody was hyped for that.
No.
It was like, become
planned cities, different times and locations.
Exactly. They'll be at
Facts.
GameStops and all that. But
Facts.
Nobody was sitting there talking about, yo,
I can't wait.
At this time, it ain't like E3. Bro, at E3, my wife knows. But like, it's 2 times of the year that I don't really, I'd be like, look, this is my holiday for what I do. It's E3, and it's the All-Star game for the NBA. Those are the 2 times.
Well, live, like, oh, my bad.
No, jump in, bot. Don't do that.
Oh man, if they're planning on those buses like you're saying, like Xbox did and stuff like that, all I'm hearing is Sony controlling the narrative. It's Sony's show and stuff like that, which is not what they stated as the reason. So if it comes down to that, as gamers, we need to hold them accountable. Now, with that being said, I also feel like there always needs to be a neutral venue where people can come in and analyze what they have to show, check it out, see if they're into it. But not only that, for the people that come in and actually, do a certain amount of analysis, like, this developer saying that they're using ray tracing, but as you can see, they're not. And the thing is, if Sony only does Sony shows, the people that go in there to do those types of things, I mean, if they're completely honest, if the developers are doing something that, Sony doesn't really want them to know with the game, if these people, these critics, these analyzers are completely honest, they run the risk of not being invited back next year.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Paris Game Week, the coffee shop in Paris.
So you always need neutral venues where people can come in, check it out for themselves, and kind of dissect it a little bit, and make sure developers are putting in there what they are saying.
So do you actually think that these things are going to be free, or do you think they'll charge?
No, they'll be free. They'll be free.
I think it could go either way, man.
But it'll be timed. It'll be like, well, the way it was is they would give you like, we'll be in this city for like
when Sony charged you for nothing live.
That's what I was trying to.
When the hell they ain't talking?
You got to go. Experience? Yes, you got to go to the movie theaters and pay to sit in there to do that. That shit to me is bad.
I was talking about.
And then what was that? What's that last PlayStation experience? People had to pay an extra $250 to see Sean Layton and Mark Cerny and them sit on an old ass couch, and they reminiscing where they could have went to Lowry's or somewhere to the Stinking Rose and had a building and talk about it. And they sitting there watching, even take no questions from the fans and none of that. So you think they not going to charge? And you don't even play the game.
They're going to charge.
They going to charge your ass. They going to hit you over the head.
I was going to make another point.
Well, hold on, let Live finish, and then one of
the other reasons why they might not be at E3 is, bro, I equate it to this. Like, when there's a girl that's bad and she used to be in the baddest chick in the room, and then there's another girl that comes in and now she's the baddest chick in the room, a lot of times that chick can't handle it. She can't handle not having the same attention, or people, or what happens is, like, she's not even sharing up. Everybody looking at the other girl like, oh snap. So think about it. You could show what you have, right, when it's you by yourself. And even if say they show it at, on YouTube or whatever, it's still controlling the narrative, because once the gamers get it and everybody's talking about it, be like, yo, that PlayStation junk is fire, blah, 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 blah. And then somebody comes up and be like, but did you see that Xbox shit though? That's the shit that is like, so if you can control that as long as possible, before motherfuckers can know the difference. You know what I mean?
But no, and it makes perfect sense. Go ahead, 108.
Well, yo, brother, I gotta say real quick, I gotta back out of here, man. I gotta be out. So, all right, man. Yo, huge shout out to the panel.
Man?
Oh, brother, right here on YouTube, man. My channel is Xbox448. We're doing next podcast tomorrow, 7 p.m. on my channel.
He's Xbox 448.
Xbox for 4K because I game in 4K now, brother.
About time.
Definitely. Shout out to Yobi for that, by the way.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know that you over here doing double time. Crispy, are you still good?
I'm still here, man. I'm still here.
All right, cool.
All right, yo, later, everybody. Chat, yo, smack that thumbs up button, man. You know what to do. Share this out on social media. Let people know GRG is getting down tonight.
You forgot your slogan. You got to say GRG is getting down tonight. My brothers.
My brothers.
Anyway.
Yo, later,
everybody. All right, man.
Good
shit. Good shit, bot. All right. Anyway, 108. Go ahead and continue, man.
This is what I'm gonna say, man. Sony doing their own thing, going into their own situation and want to broadcast their PS5. People ask the question, was the Xbox Series X the perfect place to introduce it to the world at the Game Awards? 96 countries, 44 million viewers. The answer is yes. When you do a PlayStation only event, it's PlayStation fans. You got some Xbox people in there, a little bit of Nintendo fans in there. E3 is the pinnacle of gaming. We all been there. There was no line short. There was no easy way in. There was no shortcomings of content. The floor space that Sony would purchase was bought by Nintendo and Microsoft. It was bigger than ever for both companies. But people saying, oh, they don't need E3. They didn't show up to Gamescom last year either. Let me guess. Gamescom don't matter? You need, on a console launch, you need to put as many eyes on your system and your games possible to be having a successful launch. A private event don't guarantee that. You need a universal event. E3 universal. You know what I'm saying? The Gaming Awards is universal. I look at it as Sony not bringing their content to E3 as a smack in the face to the Sony fans. My first E3 2018, I was in that E3 Sony booth outside buying collectibles and different stuff you couldn't get nowhere else. Me and K-Meg are taking pictures with that big ass bear. Right or wrong, K-Meg?
Oh yeah, we was taking a picture.
We
with
had
the
a blast.
Bear. Yeah, the big ass bear and the little ass Kratos and that robot and
right.
Astrobot. Yeah,
right. But it's about the experience. So E3 is the biggest trade show for video gaming in the world. So anybody that says, yo, E3 don't matter. First of all, everybody don't go to Gamescom. They don't go to Gamescom. Everybody, half or nobody, go to the Tokyo Game Show. That's a Japanese-based system, situation. PAX is indie dominated. But when you got E3, you got Australian developers, Poland developers, Russian developers, United States developers. You got developers from all over the world flying in, being part of E3. So when you hear people say E3 don't matter, that's buffoonery. That's buffoonery. Facts, because that is the trade show to demonstrate who you are and what you're bringing to the table. Whether you got that indie developer outside with their own tent, or you got the major developers with these big goddamn advertisements for games like Cyberpunk. What was the game from Ubisoft with the ships?
Oh, Skull and Bones.
Yeah, was that not huge in E3?
Oh yeah, no, they had a big ass ship. They had
big.
Man, Ubisoft. Yeah, they took up a lot of space out there.
Right. So what I'm saying is, don't shortchange E3 because Sony said we got a budget to work with. Because at the end of the day, E3 is the biggest trade show. Because like I said, all developers don't run a Tokyo Game Show because it's Tokyo dominated. It's Japanese dominated. And let me read this super chat. Shout out to Still Knuckles. Ponies are hype about features on Copy Station that Sony copied from Xbox that's been on Xbox since 2013. Haptic feedback. Shout out to you for that $5 super chat.
Appreciate it.
But it's like, you know, when I go to E3, man, and shout out to my boy 100. He invited me on his channel over day, and he said, don't do no kumbaya over here. But I got to be real.
Yeah.
Competition is great. It keeps everybody on their toes. I want Sony to be there. I want them to keep the pressure on Microsoft. I want Microsoft to keep the pressure on Sony because, you know, at the end of the day, when they both are competing, we benefit as gamers. Because they're bringing, you brought Spider-Man. I gotta bring X-Men 50,000. It's about competition. Oh, Gears 5 is a joint. I gotta Horizon Zero Dawn 2 gotta be more competitive. You want competition. I don't want nobody to gracefully bow out. I bring the heat. Show us that you are competing for our dollar because at the end of the day, we spending that money. They work for us. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't want nobody to fail. Sony not showing up to E3 is a fail.
Absolutely.
You have your own private event. We go to E3 next year. Microsoft got their event. I guarantee you at FanFest, they're going to have Xbox Series X's lined up for next generation. And you going to get hands-on. You watching Sony on YouTube, you're going to get to see fabricated situations with the media. Oh, this is fantastic. This is great.
Oh,
but
damn.
That's not the public.
So you're basically saying that Sony's going to show these consoles, but it is only going to be select people that they're going to have. Oh,
if it's a private event. If it's a private event, that's a fact.
Well, even if they do these little truck things or these little
No. They're not doing that. They're not doing that.
Oh, man. Come on. Don't say that. Like, because that means
right there,
that is so anti-consumer to me if they do that to where they'll show the console, but then they won't let the public get their hands on it. When we know they'll have demos to where people can play it at E3.
Right.
For
I don't care if the controller got screens on it. People, like when we go to E3, right? Mm-hmm. We have that experience, and people don't understand the experience, man. When you get hands-on with a situation, that's not a third-party experience. That's me telling you my experience on the situation. Yo, listen, man, Sony need that. The reason they revamping their company after selling or putting out 106 million consoles, they're looking at Microsoft and saying, listen, look how much money they making, and we sold double the consoles. What did we do wrong? You're not people friendly.
What they talked about last year, right? And when we showed the world premiere, they was like, what xCloud, right? We touched that, right? We all copied,
hands on.
Yeah. And we was telling people like this shit is legit.
People thought, it's hooked up with wires. Nah,
yeah, it's with wires.
Nah.
And we all showed.
You don't get better than that.
All because we touched it. We ain't sitting behind a damn monitor. We ain't sitting behind a TV.
Right.
We actually got our hands on with it, asking questions.
But you know what? Forget Xbox. Last of Us 2, right? They had a special tent with a special group of people, and then they showed the game. We didn't get no rebuttal out that group. Nobody said nothing.
No, and that was the thing that was
nothing.
crazy. Yeah, that was that was to me the most disheartening thing. That's why when I was explaining to Bot, like, look, hey, if Sony comes out and this is what it is, what they said, then okay, cool. But it just doesn't seem right to me because of the way that they were in 2018. They were so distant to like they had a tent that should have been inside the building, if you ask me.
We don't even know where it was at.
Yeah, well, no, the tent like outside. No. I'm not talking about their event. Like that was crazy to me. Like I mean, you had that tent somewhere at the location of E3, but you're just gonna have, I guess, maybe 30, 40, 50 people there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe at max, maybe 100. I don't know, but. And then you can't let fans have access now for something like that. Definitely get tickets. Like when we went to the Bethesda thing this year, right? We had to see if we won those tickets or not. Right. I think that is perfect for the fans. And just think about like the PSX a couple of years ago before they did the couch PSX. That PSX was fantastic because it was you seen the fans' interaction with that. Like that was dope. Like
let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you real quick.
Great. Like that's what it's all about.
At the Bethesda booth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me, you, Megatron, a few other podcasters and YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't coasting to anything. We sat down there. We had our seats. Our reactions wasn't manipulated, was they?
No.
We didn't know what to expect.
No.
But
So
that's
when
only a couple of shots.
No, but listen. No, shut up, stupid. He's stupid. But what I'm saying is, when they showcased. They didn't pre-sell nobody. There was no dude on the far left-hand side. Applaud here. There was no reality TV show crap. They showed what they had to show, and the crowd reaction you saw was authentic.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Because out of everybody I watched, I went to several presentations. We all did. But Bethesda knocked it out the park. We was cheering like fanboys because their presentation was about that work. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want Microsoft to set up no presentation where it's all Xbox dudes. They're gonna cheer for Pac-Man got a HD upgrade. Yeah. No. That's not realistic.
But no, I'm being realistic. Bethesda was I give Bethesda a C last year.
No, Bethesda was fun though. It was fun.
I didn't want to go to the taco truck.
Right. But it was fun.
It was thing about
authentic.
It was no, they did it. I give you that. I give you an A for effort.
Right.
But, I give you A for effort, but it was like I saw this all right. Doom Eternal again.
No, but what about Ubisoft? Ubisoft was saying fantastic too. And you know what? I ain't even hold on, Juan. I didn't look at Bethesda just for the games they showed. How about the sound effects and the pyrotechnique?
The tech.
Yo, come on.
They
had the present. It was amazing.
It was dope.
Yeah, they had. No,
I'm just giving props to props due. Not about the content. I'm just saying this is what Sony's gonna miss if they do their own presentation because they're gonna invite Sony dudes.
Yeah, and more people that's going to be watching it is going to be the people. People will watch it later. Like it's not going to be like we'll watch it, but it's not going to get the same gravity as though E3.
Right, because it's not universal.
Right,
it's selected.
You don't have regular. See, that's what thing about it is. People say E3 is dead and all that. Guess who made E3? Guess what the journalists made feel about E3. They feel because me, you, Mega, Live, GRG, any other podcasters out there, guess what we can do? We can get the same information that they get, and I'm saying, and we can post on our channels and get hits and get paid for it. Before it was closed. Now it's more open. That's why you got certain journalists. E3 is dead. Oh, these conferences is dead. And this and this and that. So Sony's gonna go use that narrative and say, oh yeah, E3 is dead. We could do this on our own type of stuff. But no, it's not. It's not my fault that the world evolved. More people watch YouTube than they watch regular TV.
That's a fact. That's true. So yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Now, before I get to the next topic, I do want to say this. I do find it to be disheartening because I would like to see Sony there. I feel the only time that I got to see him there was 2 years ago. But even with as light as it still was cool to be amongst a lot of PlayStation fans out there as well. And last year there was tons of PlayStation fans there. Like when we went and played when I was playing Madden, I don't know if you guys seen him, but there was a dude that was dressed in nothing but PlayStation gear. Even the chain he had was said PlayStation. I mean, everything he had on had some representation of PlayStation on it, and it was cool. Like everybody, and he was in the Game Fest stuff. He wasn't in Game Fest itself, but he was, like afterwards when they let people come in, he was there, and nobody didn't trip with him. He was in there repping. That to me is what is much more special about E3 than just preaching about games and getting your word out. Like, yeah, you can get the word out anywhere. It's a lot easier. Like when Jason Schaefer and then the other guy from IGN went all in and just was saying, oh man, the ESA, they doing us like this, I like to communicate with the people, but it's just not up to par. I don't like giving out my information. That might be something too, because I heard that there was a little issue with that, but this is the main factor. And I've been told by a lot of people at E3 this is what it is. Journalists cannot get the free pass like they used to. They were used to bring out and they would have one person, and then they would have another, then would have like a crew, and E3 would let them in. That shit ain't happening no more. Like, if you don't have the right credentials, then not this person's got to pay that $650, that person got to pay that $650, that person got to pay that $650. It used to be just like, hey, we'll let you in, get you a break, and you can come in and set up. It ain't like that anymore. So some of the people that aren't as big, I guess, as journalists, they're not getting those perks as they used to, so that's why they're pissed off and saying, look, I'd rather go to another venue, and it sounds like to me that they're already kissing Sony's ass so they can get that invite because they're media.
Yeah.
That's
definitely what I heard, and a lot of the complaints, it sound like basically it's the country club thing.
Yeah.
It's like, when you put all these regulars in here, like anybody could just join. Nah, fuck this. I'm out. I don't like this.
Right, and you see how they had them separate. You see how they had the media separate. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or not, but like they have their own areas to where where media could just be amongst themselves and not mingle around the public.
It's not exclusive enough.
No, you're right. It's not very exclusive enough.
Because I think E3, if I'm not mistaken, it used to the media had more time to kind of do their own thing before the public could even come in there. Now they opened it up earlier, so now they got to squeeze past all these gamers.
Media gets access first before they let the public in. It's like 3 or 4 hours earlier. It's like anywhere from 2 to 4 hours earlier.
Yeah, and it's spots where they do private showings. It's closed door everywhere.
Yeah.
Like 2K has a closed door. Remember we was going through to the other side, and he was like, honey, what is this? I said, that's closed door stuff. He's like, let's walk on in. And I think it was some Nintendo something going on.
Oh, it was, and they looked at us crazy, like, who are these? Who are these black motherfuckers? Come up in here, and so we like, okay, we get out. But I went ahead and I just said, fuck it, let's just see what we can do. So we went in there, and sure enough, big shout out to I can't think of the studio's name, but the people who make Strange Brigade. They said, do you have an appointment? I said no. I said, but we really. I said I've seen the game advertised on Xbox conference. I'm really excited about it. We are YouTubers, and we really want to get an opportunity to see and play the game. And didn't we set that up? And y'all got to play the game. I didn't get a chance because I had to go back home. I had to catch the plane. But when they just said, hey, that shit was crazy.
Was we regular Joes?
And where? And what? And do what?
This year we did last year we did Ninja Theory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just what me and Lemon did when we was by ourselves, and we went on the Nintendo floor. Like that line was like damn near 2 to 3 hours long. There was no way. Lemon was like, "Nah, man, they ain't gonna let us get in." We talked to him and said, "Look, man, we want to check out Luigi's Mansion." They were cool with it because we didn't act like we was better than nobody. We just asked, and they just felt like, hey, these dudes ain't assholes. Go ahead, check it out. Like, And then like the people that was inside, they were so cool. We sat there and saw Pokemon, and then the girl was just giving us all the information about Pokemon and everything. Like the camaraderie is at E3 is just like no other, especially when it's a place where it's just your peers. It's not a lot of kids running around. It's people that are my age, that's older, that's in their 20s as well. There's all different ages, all different nationalities. It's the coolest shit. Like, why would Sony take that away from the gamer if they're going to just have little small events here and there, and then they want to just put out more let the media throw shit out and not have the fans interact like that, and then not have fans like Gamma Green 100 to play on the PlayStation, and then get turned out by playing Horizon Dawn 2 or something. Like, damn, this shit is fire. Like, that to me is the biggest miss out of all of this.
Straight up, like I'm an Xbox dude. Thing about this is you just got people don't understand. You got to have that experience. Yeah. You can't sit behind that TV. That TV don't do it justice. And I get it. The Lala said that from day one. You have to be when I first went to a Microsoft conference, I was blown away. I was like, whoa. Mm-hmm. Meg was over there in the front, me and Lemon over here, and they Lemon over here punking people. Move over. But he's like, move over. There's 2 seats for me and my boy. But that experience you got.
You hear this nonsense?
I hear this. I hear this. He get a little extra now.
Move over.
We got a guest on the show, man. You making this man think this man's some kind of thug or something, man.
He ain't no thug, but he told him move over. He was like, man, if I blow one more time. So but think about it. What we sitting by? IGN people. Mm-hmm. I think it was IGN. Game Inform. We were sitting by these guys that's sitting there typing, and they nervous because he didn't scare them, and he's slapping them on the head. Man, you see that? Man, I'm like, damn. But that's the experience.
Oh, that was the first year. That was I was sitting by myself that time because we got lost.
You was at the bottom and we was at the top.
Yeah, I was at the top. Yeah,
but you got into the line before we got into the line, and we was VIP. But the VIP didn't work for me and Lemon.
I sat up there with the media too. But it's like, again, it's not about what, you know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, it's about the experience. Not so much about, I mean, for us, it was a fantastic time for what we did. But just to get a general idea for the people out there that has not been there, and they think that just because Sony got this clout and they got the name, that it doesn't take away for the fact that E3 is special. That's what I'm trying to get to the point too, is that, look, you just have to be there to understand it. None of that fanboy bullshit. Not like I would say this and then we'll get to the next topic. I said this before. It was the wildest thing because they showed Kojima's game, they showed Death Stranding, and we was at the Microsoft Center and there was these 3 guys and they were back there, and we were standing in the Sea of Thieves line to get one of them fake tattoos and like some kind of like, some special cards or whatever. And though we was talking about Death Stranding, trying to understand what it was when they showed that first trailer and all that. And then somebody tried to pop off and say something, I don't even know why I'm standing here, Xbox is dead. And everybody that was in there surrounded that dude and told him, get the fuck out of the line. It was crazy. Like, look, I love PlayStation more, but that's not right. Xbox is cool. Like, that shit fucked me up. I had to step back. I was like, it was about to be white on white crime. They was about to beat that white boy up. Because I was like, damn. Like, that to me, it brought back the original essence of what gaming is and what it always has been. It hasn't been this tit for tat, my console's better than yours for whatever damn reason. It goes back to the root of why we do it, why we spend all this money on this content, why we support these brands. It's all authentic and it's all for the love. And that, to me, if Sony leaves because of selfish notions and is not legitimate, to me, that is the biggest ultimate fail of all time to me. That is horrible. Now, who knows? E3 could dissolve and go away sometime next year. We have no idea, but it would be a sad day if that happens because E3 is something special. That's why I keep saying, if you have the collateral to get out there, because it does cost some money, but it's well worth it if you're a true gamer. That's all I'm saying. So let's get on to the next topic, man. Shit. Yeah, I'll make the Xbox strategy last. Let's get on to the Horizon Zero Dawn and the Order 1886 rumor. Well, the Horizon Zero Dawn situation is not a rumor. Horizon Zero Dawn is going to the PC. It was confirmed, and then it got set back because there was a couple of people that mentioned it from. I know I mentioned it a long time ago. I know Rand mentioned it, and he got a lot of flack. He backed out on it. There was other articles, and then there was just a lot of backlash, and so they backtracked. And then now it's come back to show that one article that came from that Russian from that Russian leak was absolutely the truth. And it was coming out sometime at the beginning of this year, and now we got pretty much confirmation that Horizon Zero Dawn will go on PC. And then today that dropped that the Order 1886 is going to get a sequel, and that game is going to be a multiplat. Now, that one is a rumor, but we could talk about both, so I'm going to go to Crispy. Crispy's been pretty quiet. What is your thoughts about this, man? I mean, the whole narrative from these fanboys that have been bringing up, I'll call them stands, that has been so against games going to the PC, that Sony would never do this. It's never going to happen. It's only just them streaming. Now that they see that Sony is going another direction, what do you feel about all of this?
Oh my God, some of the stuff on Twitter, bro. I was just laughing so hard. These people are having meltdowns over this. Like legit meltdowns. Like, come on, people. And everybody would point out and say, oh, Xbox people have done that before and this and that. I'm like, well, number one, if you're a smart Xbox player, you know that Xbox did this way long time ago. And yes, Xbox said it. I'd go back to Gears. Gears 1 was ported to PC like freaking 10 years ago, if everybody forgets. Okay. And you have to realize that nobody said a damn word then. So we are at our own fault when we got mad about that. I wasn't one of them, but I've seen a few. But PlayStation gamers apparently are taking this to another level and basically disowning the console now, which is just absolutely absurd. I mean, it is your favorite video game console. They are trying to get, this double dip money that, is rightfully so. I mean, some of these games, especially the Order, didn't sell very well. Maybe you could sell another 1 million copies on PC. It absolutely makes sense to do it financially. And I don't blame them. And, it's great for those PC gamers that don't play PlayStation. Like if I had a PC, I'd be a happy camper because then I can play those PlayStation exclusives that are going to come to it. Because this is not going to stop. If they sell 1 million of them, they're going to put other ones on there. Maybe a year later, maybe 2 years later, or maybe day and date eventually. But it's just
you're going to go with the day and date?
If it's successful enough financially, they will do it. Because in the end, you got to make money. You're a business, and you're still exclusive to that certain console, which a lot of us are just like straight console gamers. I'm a console gamer. Like even if I had a PC, I don't see myself playing on it. And now I might get a PC quality experience anyway, and 10 months. So in general, it's logical to just make the money. And the day and date thing, I see PlayStation holding out just like crossplay, just like everything else, as long as possible until that wallet squeezes so tight and the investors go and say, you got to do this because we're making money off of it. And then they'll go and do it. But in the end, I mean, people need to relax. Like it's a plastic box. Like it is a one game. It's not like they didn't even put God of War or anything. It's Horizon Zero Dawn that came out 3 years ago. Will you people relax?
Well, I mean, look, it was such a staple for them. And it was one of their strongest narratives of why a PlayStation was better than an Xbox. And that's what made the console more viable and more wanted from their standpoint. So, of course, hearing this news, especially as one of those bangers, and it was very popular and successful for PlayStation as a new IP, it hurt their feelings. What is your thoughts about this, man? I mean, where can you go with this? I mean, what do you have to say about first these stands going crazy about this, and the fact that Sony seems like they're going another direction, even beyond the hardcore that claims that they know better, or they know what's best for the PlayStation community.
First off, I have to ask, what's it feel like to be prostituted for about 7 years?
Oh Lord,
by your favorite company.
Oh Lord, see, I didn't think the Rookie of the Year was gonna come in here and hit him with that.
That's what it is, bro. Like I said earlier, bro. Like Sony came whispered the sweet bullshit into their ears, and they took it around with it, and now they're just flipping on them, and they're ones to be left down cold on the streets right now. And the dumbest thing about this, like this is a non-issue. This shouldn't be a non-issue, but since they built up these narratives, they really warped their mentalities into thinking this is an issue now. They're getting heat for it at this point. But like, it's so stupid. Like, other people getting to play the game is going to be more successful, more financially stable. It can be more financially stable for them going forward as well. Because having a bigger play base, having more people buy your game is a win, no matter how you try to stretch it. So like, the fact that people just, I don't fucking know, man. It's just so stupid. Like, at this point, I'm not trying to be funny with this. People need legit help, like professional help at this point, because you're willingly capping and being a dumbass for a box. Like, just pause everything. Roll shit back real quick. You're looking like a fool on the internet, a grown ass man and woman, for a fucking box.
Damn,
at some point, you have to sit back.
I should have came to you last since you hurting him like this. Oh my God, keep going, please.
I'm sorry, you just have to sit back and just think about this for a second. Mm-hmm. You're looking like a fool for a box. Like, at the end of the day, there is no way you can spin this into your favor. You're a grown ass man or woman. You spend your whole life working towards something. I would assume, mm-hmm. and you're spending your free time on the internet daily, hours at a time, capping for a damn box.
Not even a good kind of box either.
Oh,
this goes on both sides as well. I don't care, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whatever.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It goes beyond just PlayStation, but
right.
I mean, but who we deal with the most is stands, and so it's PlayStation.
All right,
stands,
of course, and vice versa as well.
Yeah, and so the fact of it is that it's just, to me, it's ridiculous. Look, I understand the passion, and I understand for you repping something that you enjoy and that you love. But the thing that bothers me out of all of this is that when it gets personal, when other people try to hurt other people behind this, and
right.
then for people that gets misled, because there's a lot of people out there that pays attention. That's why I say that YouTubers have to be responsible, because there are a lot of people that listen to us, and we ain't going to be right all the time. That's just human error. But when you are wrong, you should just say, look, I made a mistake. I was wrong. But that's not what we're hearing now. And that, to me, is the most disgusting thing about this. They spin it to something else of like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Are you done, Op, or you want me to go on to somebody else?
Oh no, I'm done. That's pretty just
okay.
to get help.
Okay.
Y'all people need help, bro.
All right, 108. What is your thoughts about this, man? 108 them old bowels must have got to him.
Oh, don't do that.
No, that's what's way
I
away.
had my mic muted because I was doing something else.
Yeah,
I didn't want to disrespect the chat or whatever.
Them graham crackers and milk time, about to go to bed.
Say the topic one more time, son. Say the question.
Oh yeah, you was on that stool for a while, old ass. No, it was about the Horizon Zero Dawn going to PC, and also the Order 1886. The rumor about that there's going to be a sequel, and that game could possibly be a multiplat, and about the whole situation with how the fanboys has been going crazy, and their narratives has just been dying before their eyes.
First of all, I beat 1886. It was not a good game. It was like a
what's good, Miss K?
It was like a cutscene queen. That's not a sequel I would want on anything. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox, don't matter. The game was not good. It was very shallow. Listen, man, We want good titles for the next generation. That's just not one of them. Horizon Zero Dawn, let me tell y'all something, man. People complain about Microsoft kumbayaing and going on the PC platform. First of all, if you know the history of Microsoft, they had games for Windows back with 360, and the model that they try to distribute to 360 and PC didn't work. They try to separate the communities, but now that Phil Spencer is taking over and they're bringing all the communities together, Microsoft was a PC gaming company first. They got into consoles after the fact. They're supposed to support both formats. Now, for you PlayStation dudes that's mad or who try to use, Halo, Master Chief Collection, Gears, Forza, it's not exclusive to console because it's on PC. PlayStation got 106 million consoles sold, and Microsoft is making more money with half the consoles sold. So they're looking at, what are we doing wrong? How are they generating this revenue? We're selling more games than them, but they're making more money than us. So they're looking at, listen, the console and PC are not rivals. That is two different markets. PlayStation, if you take your first party titles and put them on PC, you're giving people on PC an opportunity to play a PlayStation first party game without buying your console that's already sold. The game already sold. So if you could put that on PC and sell it again, it's a win-win for Sony. And Sony is looking at, Microsoft is capitalizing over this money. We want that same revenue. We need it. It's a business. And you know, I was listening to shout out to my man Boomstick, Breakfast with Boom this morning, man, and he brought up a great point. He was like, most people don't even understand the side of business when it comes to gaming. Most people on Twitter talk with their emotions on this console war stuff, but Sony is looking at the bigger picture. If they could make more money putting their games on PC and get a fraction of what they're already making, why wouldn't you do it? You're not taking away from your console sales, and you bringing in other type of gamers.
But that's one of the biggest things that they've said. That was one of the narratives, is that if these exclusives go to PC, that means that people will not look at a PlayStation 4 as the go-to console anymore.
But it's not about that, because you got people that want to plug and play. PC gaming is not for everybody. Every game that come out need a patch for NVIDIA, AMD. They leave hardware behind. Console is the traditional plug and play, because the developers on console, which is the same ones for PC, know the target hardware they're targeting. PC is not the premier in terms of hardware. The developers say you got a PlayStation 4 or you got a PlayStation 4 Pro. They know how to max out both of those systems. Now on PC, they're developing for GRG 2, GRG 3, GRG 4, 1080 Ti's, 980 Ti's, 980s, 970, and so on. So everybody's not into PC gaming, but you can generalize the gaming situation with a console, because whatever console you got, that market is targeted for the game's performance for that specific console. So console gaming is simpler, and that's why they rule. Thanks.
I think you're right. Hey, people, hit that like button, man. Go ahead and show that appreciation for the panel. For the panel, not for K Mega. Or you can hit the dislike button. If you can't stand K Mega, hit the dislike button. You know what I'm saying? If you can't stand.
And we need more likes. We got 96 right now and 44 likes. Come on, people. It take you 0.3 seconds.
If 100 is Gamma Green and you bleed Gamma Green, hit that like. If you are a PlayStation fan and you can't stand 108 Dragons TV. Hit that dislike button. Hit it all. Just hit every damn
We
thing.
ain't got nobody begging on their channel. Tell me to hit that Patreon. Hit that like button.
I ain't saying anything about no Patreon or anything like that. You know what? I ain't even talked about my Patreon. I forgot that I got the Patreon. But yeah, it's in the link in the description.
But you know what I'm saying?
Hit it
Go
up.
hit the Patreon button. Go hit something.
Whatever. Hit something.
Yo, hit it up, man.
Go on my channel. Go hit all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dislikes.
Go. You know what you guys can do? You know what you guys that's listening tonight can do? Go sub everyone here, man. Go support everyone here. You don't have to give any more to the chat or anything, man. Go
it costs you nothing.
And help those guys, man. That costs you nothing. Go support everyone here, man. You know what I'm saying? And that'll make me happy,
check out them game awards from 108 and friends.
Yes, no doubt. All
Get
right.
your vote in. Get your vote in.
All right, let's reel
Tell
it in.
what your game of the years are. Facts.
Let's reel it in. Okay, so were you done or did you want to keep going?
No, I'm done because what I said was the truth. Like
it was.
It is what it is. Facts.
All right, Livewire. What is your stance on this, man? I mean, you guys are kind of skipping over the Order 1886. I mean, I know Lemmy doesn't like the game. Live, I'm sure that you played it and beat it. Now,
I can't say I don't like it, King Mega. It just was not the game they projected, and it wasn't that good. I beat it though. I beat it.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so what about you, Live? I mean, this whole you're both topics because I just mixed them together because I want to get that last topic before we get off of here because we're gonna get out of here on time. Check that out. So, what is it? What do you think is the issue here? Why is it that it's such a problem for these people to not understand about the business aspect of it? Why is it that they, what's going on with that point? Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. You might have a different opinion, but what's going on with Horizon Zero Dawn going to PC, and what is your thoughts about the rumor about the sequel to the Order 1886 possibly being a multi-plat?
Well, that developer isn't owned by PlayStation, right? So I believe they said they were going to go.
No, Sony was ATF and shut that shit down. They said we done with you.
I mean, that's not really a shock at all.
Mm-hmm.
So if they did they give the rights to that game to the developer? I don't remember.
I don't know. I'll look at it while you keep talking about it. I'll look at it.
Yeah. So I mean, if they have the rights to it and they're passionate about doing a sequel, then it was cool. Like the Order 18, it had a lot of stuff. Like it had some things right, some things wrong. Like it was a great looking game, but it kind of put the handcuffs on you throughout a lot of the stuff. Like a lot of they had a lot of missions that felt like it was kind of like I wouldn't say on rails, but it was very close to that. It was like basically you only can go here. This is only one. You only got one way in order to really complete certain missions and stuff like that. It's like you have to use this specific weapon, otherwise, you could use this other one, but the bullet's gonna run out, and this is stuff like that. But
okay, hold on. This is something pretty interesting because it says Sony still owns, they still retain the rights to the Order IP.
Yeah, so if that's the case, I don't know why they would put it on Xbox unless they're trying to just make more money from it. That means they probably put it on everything.
Well, okay,
put it on PC.
So are you telling me that, okay, because it's still a rumor, but are you telling me if Sony pulls a Microsoft and then throws and does an Outer Worlds thing, I don't know. I think people are gonna jump off the ledge. I think some of them. I think. Well, like Op was saying, we might have to go check on our Sony brethren out there because I think they'll go crazy.
Xbox for the Outer Worlds thing.
No. Well, they might put it in PlayStation Now, day and date, while Xbox has
No.
to pay for it.
The rumor says that it's going to. The rumor states that it will be there's a sequel coming, and now I don't know if Sony will let go of it like Microsoft did with Insomniac, or something of that nature. But it says right here that they still retain the rights. But
Mega, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who said you said? Because it just hit me. Like, okay, you saying the thing about it is, You saying Microsoft let go of the Insomniac deal?
No,
Who said that?
no. Yeah, they gave the rights back to Sunset Overdrive and all those other games and Alan Wake back to Insomniac. I mean, well, I'm back to Remedy, but
No, that wasn't it. No, Sunset Overdrive ain't never went back. They gave it to Alan Wake.
I know,
mean,
but that's
stuff to
Remedy.
Alan Wake.
That's Remedy. But I'm
Yeah, that
talking
was
about
Remedy. Yeah.
But I'm talking about
Insomniac.
but
I don't think no, because you got to do no.
No, because Sony bought that studio, so they have
It don't
that
matter.
game.
It don't matter. But Microsoft published that game.
I know, but they can make a what's
And
called
then
part two.
if Microsoft can do this like they did with Microsoft published the first Mass Effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's Mass Effect end up being on? They had to pay Microsoft said, yeah, you can go throw it on that trilogy or throw it on this, but we're gonna get paid for it.
Put it on PlayStation. Yeah, I know, I got that. But I'm talking about, okay, if Sony still owns the IP to their game, to the Order 1886, and they're talking about making a sequel, then it would be just kind of like a Outer World situation where Sony would own it, but they'll publish it out to everybody. They'll make it a multi-plat. Which,
Outer World,
like I said,
Outer World is
crazy.
different because it was our thing about it. Before Microsoft purchased that studio, they was already making that game already for them being a multi-plat. Microsoft was being nice.
I got
Microsoft
that.
Microsoft was just being nice. Said, you know what, get your money. Just like Hellblade. You ever see Hellblade getting taken off from Ninja Theory? They let what they do.
No.
Get your money.
No, okay.
Get your money. We ain't hating.
This is what it is. Mr. Kima is over here helping me out with this. He says Sony has the right to the first Order 1886 game, but not the second one. So, okay. So now let me make this point too, because I was hoping y'all talk more about the Order than what you call it. Well, both really. But remember that rumor from last year where they were showing the on Twitter, on social media, where they were showing new stuff being put in their office, and they had a new sign, and then this was all hype about acquiring new studios, and then that was one of the studios that was part of this whole rumor thing. That and Quantum Dream. Do you guys remember that? Y'all guys don't remember that?
No.
Y'all don't remember that?
Okay.
All right. Well, okay. Okay. Anyway, so I remember seeing that. It's just that you got a bad memory. That's what it is. But the thing of it is that they showed that, and remember those rumors that was going around, like, hey, Microsoft might want to acquire one of them. Well, then Quantum Dream, they went with somebody else, and now they're going to be all multi-plat. But nobody didn't actually know what was going on with Ready at Dawn. Now, could this be, because they had to get some kind of funding if they're going to make a sequel to this. So, and shout out to B Shadows, because B Shadows brought this up, and he got mad at me because I said he claimed, and he got pissed off at me about it. But regardless, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't going to take the fall for that if he was wrong. But shout out to him because he was right. If they're going to make a sequel, so damn, like, what if Microsoft is help funding them? If you know what I'm saying, I mean, I don't know. What y'all guys think?
I put this way. I think Microsoft ain't in the business of funding nobody. Either you gonna get down or you gonna lay down now.
Okay.
We got it. I think they're in that business. Like, you get down, lay down. We ain't funding nobody.
Y'all ain't falling for the bait. Y'all ain't falling for the bait.
Yeah, we're not gonna have what we had with the Tomb Raider, all that. Either you gonna get down or you gonna lay down.
I totally agree with that. But I'm saying, if they got the funding to do a sequel, if that part is true, and if that part is true, then somebody's funding them. And I don't think Sony's going to go ahead and try to do that again.
I don't think Microsoft is into funding nobody. Either you're going to be a part of us or not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was one of the rumors from back then. Could this be, if they are doing this, if they're not getting picked up by somebody else? Because there's a lot of requirements. Tencent is going out there buying a whole bunch of shit themselves. So,
that's what I was finna say.
Yeah.
It's a lot of these other companies that got all these Chinese. That Tencent is buying up down there. Everybody.
Right.
Tencent buying up a whole lot of stock, and they getting paid. See, when I play PUBG, when it come on the mobile, it say Tencent. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? They making bread. You know what I'm saying? So, thing about this, you don't have to get greedy. See, Microsoft don't have to get greedy. You pick your selective. You know what I'm saying? Remember Rush Hour 2? And my man went in and said, I want you. I want you, I want you, I want you, and I want you. That's what Microsoft did.
Yeah.
That's what they went in. That's what they did. And if you want to get on, you know what I'm saying, what's your price? And we got to negotiate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know that they're going to be picking up somebody else. I just don't know how many they're going to be picking up.
I don't know what that picking up somebody else thing. I don't.
Oh, no, they're definitely picking up somebody else. I just don't know who.
I don't think they're picking up.
Oh yeah,
else.
no, they're they kind of said themselves that they're going to acquire somebody else.
I'll put a game on the wood. I'll put a game on the wood.
Game on the wood. You heard this first. Game on the wood.
I'll put a game on the wood.
They gonna get somebody. They gonna pick up another studio for sure.
They already got enough. Think about it. Look what Microsoft is doing. If we you know what I'm saying?
I just want my game when they come out.
You know how Lemmy talks like he's a tech guy? I'm gonna talk like I'm the business guy.
Oof, disrespectful.
I'm gonna talk like I'm the business guy. Okay, I have these studios. I have double and triple their, you know what I'm saying, their financial worth. I didn't triple their people that works for them and all this. I'm building them new facilities and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want to go? Microsoft came out Microsoft didn't hit people they didn't think they can hit. And thing about it is like, why do I need to get someone else? Well, I got all these guys going to get some bank.
They still need one or two more studios.
If it ain't BioWare, I ain't taking nobody because BioWare's a great.
If anything, they're going to get an Asian studio. If anything, they're going to get an Asian studio. They're going to get an Asian studio.
It ain't BioWare. If it ain't, if EA want to sit there and like they tired of BioWare, I buy a BioWare. Like, yeah, but I'm gonna buy it for 50 cents on the dollar. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness. Anyway, you heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. We put a game on the wood. Hey, I cannot wait.
Game on the wood. It's on wax.
I can't wait to get it. I can't wait to get it because Microsoft is going to go ahead and make that happen. All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Anybody else want to talk on any situation about Horizon Zero Dawn or on the Order 1886? All right, before we move on to the last topic. Okay, cool. All right. Crispy, you with me for the last one?
I am.
All right, good shit. Crispy's a trooper, man. I love it. All right. Talking about, since we keeping it Xbox, we're going to talk about Xbox's strategy. Me and Don kind of talked about it. Me, Don, and Live, actually, because Live was on, and he was at his best, man, Live was at his best behavior, man. It was great. There wasn't no cussing. There wasn't no motherfuckers. There was none of that. It was great. Like, Live actually was like, it was crazy. Anyway, so we was on Devin the Gamer, man. Everything was cool. It was great. But we talked a little bit about this. But now there was an article that came out, and it was breaking down the three things, the four components that can make Xbox be at the forefront of this generation. So one is, okay, so the first thing is basically, having a different mindset of not caring who buy, not caring if they buy the console. That has already been established by Phil Spencer, been established by pretty much everybody that's been working for Xbox. If you don't want to buy the box, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? We got other options for you. If you want to get that game on PC, that's cool. But all they want you to do is buy the game.
Software sells. Yeah,
software sells. The second part is Xbox is, the ecosystem. I think one of the biggest issues or the problem that they had was the transition between the 360 to the Xbox One. And now we're knowing that the ecosystem is how it's going to be. It's going to end on with the Xbox One. It's going to be what it's like on the Series X. So they're not going to be doing all this crazy changing and just like they did at the beginning of the gen in 2013. All right. So then another one they said was they were going for it with just Xbox, which, they're just talking about the name, keeping all the generations, all the generations in one, actually getting the situation to where, getting everything to where it is PC-like, to where you have all your generations into one box, and every time that you upgrade, it's going to follow you. It's not going to ever change. Like, the controllers, all of that, games, everything, all of that will go with you. So that's another one. And then the last piece of this was saying that was the most important was Game Pass and xCloud. Now, I'm going to go to you, Crispy, again. What do you think about that? Do you think that that is a winning strategy for Xbox, or do you think that this is just, or is you know, do you think that there's something flawed within that? Do you think that Xbox has to do something else to try to get over the hump of you know, instead of having the setbacks of what they had in this generation?
Well, they're selling an ecosystem. That is the whole, like, all those points turn around to that. You know, Game Pass is part of the ecosystem, you know, and not changing. Like, yes, like if you go from the interface from the 360 to the Xbox One, plus having, you know, the Connect enabled stuff that was involved in the One compared to the 360, you have two totally different interfaces, which turn people off, not including all the other hiccups they had. But that was also a huge part of it. People were very confused at that point. You know, keeping things the same. And you can go and just look at other companies that do this. Does anybody own an iPhone? I do. The darn thing, that the interface, everything is the same from iPhone 11 to probably iPhone 5 or iPhone 6. You know what I mean? Like, they rarely like do huge leaps and bounds. They try to keep it the same for a reason, because people are used to it. They might do minute changes, maybe things that piss people off, which every company does that. But in the end, it's still kind of the same thing. So in general, you know, what we have to realize is that I believe that the Xbox One X is going to be like, it's not going to die immediately. You know what I mean? I think when they say like 1 to 2 years, these games are for like the OG Xbox. They're just not going to be able to work on it.
Right.
But that's where we go into xCloud. And my buddy, who has been a PlayStation gamer forever, has just been blowing me up on Xbox lately. Okay, Game Pass, he's a family man. He doesn't have the money to buy games all the time. Game Pass is an absolute gem for him. He is enjoying the hell out of it. And, you know, he's played all kinds. He's like, I never would have thought I would play this game. It's awesome. Like, he keeps trying to have me play all these different games. I can barely have enough time to play the ones I want to play. But, you know, the point of the matter is he was in the basement because he works at a hospital, and he's in this concrete basement, and he's working off of his phone internet connection. And he was so impressed. He got into the xCloud beta, and the thing worked darn good for where he was at in his building, taking his break. And he was like, dude, I can't believe how good this worked. And I'm like, you know, they could be able to support these older consoles using that eventually. Just they have to probably work out the kinks. So I mean, you know, everybody's gonna say the game part of it. Everybody's gonna say you got to keep your exclusives exclusive. I'm gonna be honest with you. Minecraft's made them a crap ton of money. Okay. Oh, like, you know, Minecraft's still in the top 10, I believe.
Yes,
you
the
know?
top 10 of the top 10 of the games of the decade.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you look at a game like that.
Chris, you got the statement of the year, man. You got the statement of the year. I ain't never, man. You need to be president of the United States.
But I mean, you think about that pixelated game.
I ain't thought about that presence. You the man right now. Man, you can talk for 25 minutes.
But you know, that's why you see like the exclusive still going to PC, because you're getting that extra revenue while still keeping exclusive to the ecosystem. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation was ever down for it to put Game Pass on PlayStation. I'm telling you, they would probably do it, but PlayStation would never allow it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's because they would go and say, well, PlayStation gamers are paying $20 a month. And if you don't like it, that's tough. You know, because, you know, you want an Xbox, you could pay $10. They could do stuff like that if they want to. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't realize, like, you know, I'm sure at some point Nintendo has thought about having some kind of Xbox interfaces on their stuff, because, you know, to be honest, all their party systems and their internet stuff, they all suck. So why not go with the industry leader? I mean, Xbox basically pushed the narrative for us to be online gaming where we're at now. okay, there is a reason why it's better. And you know what? You can tell me it's not, but you see the 35 million out of 100 million, and you see probably what 75% Xbox gamers, and I'm not getting into numbers at this point, but are playing online all the time.
Okay, but Crispy, let me ask you this question though. What about those that will say, because I've seen somebody in the chat bring that up, saying that Xbox is forcing you to pay online while PC is free?
PC is free? What do you mean? Like, how do you mean by that?
For the online service, like basically, all of these things are winning strategies, but one of the things that could be kicked back is that, well, I could play my games on PC for free instead of me paying for a service, like Xbox Live, for however much that you pay for. Well, I could just play my games for free. I mean,
so like I don't have a PC that could really.
Okay.
I don't have like
I'll hit limit up about that here in a minute.
Yeah, I don't have a gaming PC. Let's say I have a laptop and I have one I'm going to work on to just do some more things. Hopefully, a podcast down the road. But yeah, definitely. I'm more of a console gamer, and I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, you look at it and you say Xbox Live is still successful regardless.
Right.
So, the only thing I will admit is that those free-to-play games should be able to be played. They should have like a silver edition that you can play the free-to-plays online with people. I think that would be the most fair thing to do. Other than that, Xbox Live is an ecosystem you pay for. It's on the box, and, you do have incentives. And then, if you want those 300 plus games that we're probably going to have coming up, they keep adding and they subtract very little. We're going to have a lot to play on Game Pass, and it's just worth it.
Right.
Hey, Chris, but you don't like paying for security?
Wait, say it again.
You don't like to pay for security?
That's kind of where I'm at.
No one wants to bring that up. Like when you get a PC, you don't pay for security. It's not secured. When you get a console, that console is supposed to be secure. I don't care if it's a PlayStation, it's a Nintendo Switch, and all that. It's supposed to be what you pay when you pay for a premium service. You pay for security. When you pay for Xbox, HBO Now and Hulu or Amazon Prime, what you pay for? You're paying for security.
Yeah, I'll even go a step further because I thought Crispy was on a roll, so I thought Crispy was going to have a little bomb for him, but he was like, and I was like, oh shit, my bad, Crispy. But I'll even go a step further than what 100 did. You may claim that you don't pay for you don't have to pay for internet but if you don't, then you have viruses to where you can't even play games. So I guarantee your ass in some way, shape, or form has been paying for Norton or any of those different type of virus software, whatever that shit's called, to stop your
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, all those type of software kits for viruses. You're paying for that. If you're not paying for it monthly, you're paying for it yearly. So to me, you're frauding the public. If it's anybody that comes to tell you that it's all free, then that means that they shit is so bugged up that they can't even do it. Because trust me, you can have the Windows software that can sit there and try to protect you, but it ain't gonna protect you for everything because what's different from a console, from a PC, is that you can go deeper into the web than you ever could, and some of you nasty bastards be going somewhere that y'all ain't supposed to be. so the thing of it is that look, man, you are paying for some sort of security in one way, shape, or form, and if let's say that you're just using Windows Defender, you still had to pay for that operating system. You had to pay for something in order for you to keep your shit safe. All right, my bad. Okay. Go ahead, finish up 100. Oh, 100 went away. He went away. My bad. All right. Live. What is your thoughts about this, man?
About the security?
Well, no, about just the strategy of Xbox's strategy with this whole thing with everything. Like, if this no gamer left behind idea, the xCloud, the Game Pass, what I'm saying, backwards compatibility, all of these different things that they're trying to implement. Is this the right strategy going forward this generation, or is it going to hold them back because of something like, the power narrative to where games will be held back because they can't because they got to play on older hardware or some shit like that. What is your thoughts about all that?
Yeah, that's just not going to matter.
Okay.
Only hardcore would even have an idea of even thinking some crap like that, because the people that are young, their cell phone, nobody's thinking about their iPhone that's more powerful than the iPhone they had like 3-4 years ago, holding the one they're currently getting back. That doesn't even make any sense to them. Even though they're still playing the same games they were playing, all you're looking for is better for better performance with your cell phone, some better features. That's what it is. And the same thing goes for other tech. I mean, shit, people buy new computers, you still playing the same games you was playing. If you got a 970 and then you upgrade to a 2080 Ti, you still playing the same damn game. Only difference is the shit look better. Nobody talking about that shit holding it back. So that whole narrative is just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Because half the time people don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
No, they don't.
So, I mean, you be like, well, this is how the tech was, back in the day. Motherfucker, guess what? Also, I used to watch fucking movies on VHSs, but I don't do that shit no more. The fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, but it was how it was back in the day. Motherfucker, a lot of shit was different back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, the whole reason about technology is moving forward. You over there worried about whether or not Microsoft can figure out a way to scale things up based on the hardware. Yet PlayStation still don't even figure out how to fucking do backwards compatible for PS3 games. Like, fuck out of here. What the hell are you talking about?
Or change your name properly.
Yeah, but Sony's done. They're doing it right. Bitch, Sony's doing it the only way they can. They ain't got many options. Right? Microsoft has already proven to you that they're better at the software situation than Sony. Yeah, they might have more top tier games based on the games that they had come out. But as far as actually getting those games to run the best and blah blah blah, Microsoft is doing one and up them in every category. They both got races, but Microsoft's racer is the only one doing 4K 60. They both got shooters, but Microsoft's is the only one doing 60 frames per second and 4K. Like, come on, man! Like the whole narrative is ridiculous. I'm not saying you can't still like PlayStation, blah blah blah, whatever. That's whatever. But what I'm saying is, bro, you use your head. A lot of these guys don't use their heads. Like, we know does Sony have better cinematic games? Duh. It's Sony. It's kind of expected. Is Microsoft getting there? Yeah, that's why they hired all the motherfuckers from Sony and other places.
Good point. Yeah.
So, Microsoft's strategy is what best fits them. They don't need to force you to buy a console to make money. Obviously, that's why PlayStation is trying to do the same shit Microsoft doing over there, putting their games on PC. And other places. Trying to get their PlayStation Now up and running. So, I mean, look. Like people say, money talks, bullshit walks. You could talk about, well, PlayStation, they sell more of this and da 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 da. But guess what, motherfucker? I always look at it this way. If you sell a million games, right, and Microsoft only sells 100,000, but they make just as much, if not more than you, who the fuck is doing it right and who's doing it wrong? You sold more, but you ain't make more.
Yeah, it kind of makes the point about the whole consoles situation when everybody was bringing up about how many consoles are being sold. And even though in a lot of categories, PlayStation is definitely making more money, but but Xbox as a company that's been second and third place for the majority of this generation, they have been out they've been making more money, and there was times that they've outgained on Sony in certain situations. It's crazy. Like, no company has ever done that in a bad situation like that. So obviously it's not really a bad situation. It just showed the gaming is just ultimately
How much money did
healthy.
they have to spend to even get into that situation, bro? For like years, they bought up all the marketing rights for Mad Games. That shit ain't free.
No, it's not.
But that's where all that money went. Yeah, you sold the most copies, but you spent the most money.
So I don't know.
So
that was a good point. All right, now we're gonna go to Lemon. Last point. Okay, so do you think that the strategy is a good one for Microsoft to coming into this generation, or do you think that there's some things that's still flawed?
Man, the strategy is fine, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming out swinging for the fences. This is what we asked for. What else can we say about it? It just is what it is. What do you think? Because I'm very satisfied with their strategy. Very.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, for me, I mean, I guess that was all you had. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But it's true. Like there's nothing really to indulge on too much. Like their strategy, the 2013 was a disaster. They revamped the company in this current gen, and they're coming out swinging for the fences. What else can we ask for?
No, I totally agree. No, I just to break down of just a scenario of this point. Okay, shout out to my boy Freddie B. Joe Bananas passed away last month. This was one of the problems that arose from this gen, the beginning of it. I was a day one adopter of the X1. Well, he was going to try to get one, but of course he was thinking that the price was going to be $400. Well, when they hit us over the head with the $500, he was like, no, I can't get that right now. So when we got it, it was, when I got mine, and then we were talking, and then there was other people. I had a lot of 360 friends once I started really getting onto the online, especially my Lip friends. Shout out to the Lip players out there. But I had a lot of friends, that I was playing games with, and so there were so many of them that didn't jump on, that weren't first day adopters, and so then they would hit me up. It's like, what is it like? What is this? And so then I would tell them the good and the bad. Like, the bad was the interface. Like, that Windows 8 shit was not the business. I couldn't stand it. Like, I was confused with it. Like, I'm like, I said, but then the games, like, you see the games, I said, the graphics is dope. I mean, the console is cool. I mean, I'm having a good time with it. I said, I'm just not digging the interface. I said, this picture-in-picture, that was the one thing I kept talking about that they got excited about, was the picture-in-picture. And they was like, man, I want to get it, but man, that $500 is too steep. That was one of the biggest issues I think that happened. I think people were just like, man, the PlayStation is $400, the Xbox is $500. I can't rock that right now. We just came out of a recession. So my boy Bananas, he sat there and he got one when the price went down, when they was bundling it with Titanfall. So he got it then. But that right there, that theory of what some of these people are saying is that, well, I want the games to be pressed off to come off the hardware. I don't want to have anything downgraded. They're not even pushing games that heavy to be putting the shit to the metal to where you're gonna see games that look like games that's gonna come out like 5 years from now. That's not gonna fucking happen. They never push games to the limit like that. Now, I mean, Rise was a feat, but they did some things cool. They did some things right, like to show. They did some things good and bad, but leaving the customer that already spent the money for your previous shit and they're not ready to upgrade was the worst mistake of it all. That, to me, is the perfect strategy, is to make sure that you keep the people that you already have that's used to the ecosystem, and if they can play games together, that right there keeps them within the ecosystem. Now, PlayStation is going to utilize this some kind of way through crossplay or however the hell they're going to do it. This isn't going to just be where they're, all cut and dry to where people ain't going to be able to play games with each other. PlayStation don't want to give up that 106 million that they have out there completely like that and start over from zero. So the whole start for zero aspect of it is completely dumb. I'm glad that they did that. I think that Game Pass is just a game changer. Like Lemon said, ain't nobody going to be worried about that whole graphic situation because that shit's minute. No. Casuals ain't going to care about. Oh no, Live, you said that. Casuals ain't going to give a fuck about that. So that's it to me. Yeah.
But check this out. Did you see that dude on? I forgot who did it. Like I said, I wish I get credit's due. I don't steal nobody's stuff. Dude was saying, did Gears 5 hold Gears 5 back on the Xbox One X?
No, that was going to be my next point. No, that's what's crazy to me. Like when my Xbox One X got messed up, and I had to take it out there to him. I had to play on my fat. I didn't even have an S. And so, I had an S, but I traded the S in. But I had a fat still. And so I was like, damn. Like, at first I was like, oh, this don't look too bad. This don't look too bad at all. And then I started playing The Witcher, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah. Well. And then when I played that, I played Forza, and I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And when I got my X back, and not Odyssey, but Origins. And when I played Origins again, it was night and day. Nothing got held back whatsoever. Like, matter of fact, I'm like, oh yeah, you see the difference. And that's what got my friend when he came over and he was like, I don't know, I'll just be cool with my S. He was like, oh, hell no, this looks crazy. I said, man, all you need is to get a 4K television. He said, all right, got me a 4K television. And so then he went ahead and he traded his shit in and got an X. That there was nothing to be held back. I don't know, man. It's just absolutely crazy. I'm not going to go into full rants about this. I do have one more thing to say before we get out of here. I just want to go over all the failed narratives that the stands had so far within the year. So let me go through this right fast, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, well, other than narratives, it's just everything that's been going on with Sony. All right, so Azure servers deal with Microsoft. Nobody's seen that coming. They lose MLB. They didn't see that coming. Death Stranding is going to PC. They didn't see that. Horizon Zero Dawn going to PC. No E3 at 20 or in 19, or they didn't even go anywhere. They didn't even go but only to one show, and that was Tokyo. PlayStation Vue is shutting down this year. Death Stranding didn't chart at all. It ain't even been in the top 20. And I don't even there was a thing that said that the sales were so bad that it didn't even chart. So
man, that shit didn't go diamond. That shit went wood.
Way wood. Remember when everybody was telling Sony not to do crossplay? They did that. You know what I'm saying? The no exclusives made the and then also one of the big ones to me was that that came up to me yesterday that caused a lot of these people to get pissed off was out of the games of the decade, not one exclusive was in the top 10. Not one. All those PlayStation bangers.
Hey, maybe you got one more.
What's that?
Ain't no more Redbox.
Stop it. Ain't no more Redbox. Yeah, Redbox is done. Ain't no more Redbox. But out of all the top 10 games that came out, they were all multiplat. And I said this point, and it pissed them off because I said multiplats are king. Those are the games to get the people to buy the consoles. It's COD, NBA 2K, Madden, Fortnite, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be the multiplats that's going to dictate where the public is going to go. So marketing is very important. That was something that I didn't realize, and I have to give Mooch some props on that because we had a discussion about that way back when I was on BGST, and he was right. Like, marketing is the key. That's why Sony dominated this generation in that because they just had the louder voice, and everybody got to see and hear what they had to say, and it was those big games. I mean, everybody talks shit about COD, but COD dominated the top 10. 7 out of the goddamn 10 games, man. That's crazy. Anyway, so that's it. Thank everybody for coming on. Crispy, Thank you for coming on, being a first-time guest on GRG. Hope you can come back again, brother. It was fun. Where can they find you at?
Oh man, K-Mega, thanks for having me. This is awesome. At Crispy Bomb on Twitter. Tomorrow night, I'm sure it's going to be fire. Next podcast, 7 p.m. And you also find me on Retro Renegades Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
All right, nice. All right. 108 Dragons TV, where can they find you at, man? Them bowels is getting, I'll be there in a minute. Okay. All right, 100, where can they find you at, man?
You can find me at your local pub. Where you can find me at, man. I don't know why you even ask that question. They find us. Why you even ask that?
All right, I gotta ask that. So just like, because there was
we can be found. Not too hard to be found.
Okay.
And you can find me, and man, you can find me walking down Westwood.
He asked that because he the damn host.
Shut up.
That's disrespectful.
I can't stand that, man. I swear.
Oh man, y'all act like
Sit down is free.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him.
Oh my goodness. Livewire, where can they find you at, man? I'll get back to you, 100.
Sleep. Find me sleep.
They can find me on looking at this NPD chart. Did you know PlayStation hasn't made the top 10 for 2 decades straight?
Lord have mercy. They'll tell you we made number 1 on console sales in the decade.
They got like mad Nintendo games up here.
See, that's the thing right there that they don't talk about. Nintendo, if you want to talk about exclusives, the PlayStation stands, they don't want to talk about Nintendo. Nintendo, if you want to talk about exclusives, Nintendo is king when it comes to exclusive. You can't talk about Xbox, you damn sure can't talk about PlayStation.
They talk about
buy them damn games.
Nintendo fans, they don't give a damn about third party. They want them exclusives.
Pokemon Diamond and Emerald and Platinum. They gonna pay that $150 for that DLC with no problem. You hear them crying?
Nope. And Nintendo don't even drop sales like that. They games be high as hell and they just stay like that. They may drop $5. A deal.
Xenoblade is still $60.
See,
I bought that shit a year ago.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, they don't want to talk about Nintendo. If you don't talk about exclusives to us, if you ain't gonna talk about Nintendo. Nintendo has 80% of Japan. They got it locked, son. They got it locked. Yes.
The previous decade, where Xbox only sold 80 million consoles, they had Halo 2 and Halo 3 up here. Where the fuck is God of War? Where the fuck is Spider-Man?
Wait, but here's the funny thing. Aren't those Nintendo games cartoony?
Yes.
I give everything a try, but
shit. That's from last decade. Mario Kart. Guitar Hero.
And nobody don't be asking nobody be asking their developers to be making other games like they keep begging for 343 to be making some other than Halo. They don't ever ask anybody that makes Mario to ask to make something else. Nintendo fans are the most loyal and most dedicated when it comes to exclusives. Look, Xbox got to get there. They're lagging with it. They were hot in the I would say in the OG era. Then they went all market. They went all puffy combs on our ass, and it was giving us the pizzazz, had the flavor and the style and the marketing and all that. And PlayStation just kept, continuing to do what they do. That PlayStation's always had some bangers. And Xbox fell the fuck off with giving out the bangers like they supposed to, and PlayStation just maintained. But Nintendo ain't went nowhere. They ain't go nowhere.
Gave us no bangers.
I said that's it. Not bangers like what PlayStation and what Nintendo has been giving us this generation like that.
Other than God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, what bangers they had?
No, they got some bangers. Detroit was hot, but Detroit is a multi-plat now.
Man, that's a multi-plat now, so that's not exclusive no more. So you can't call that bang. I'm finna go. Man, shout out to Miss K. Miss K, I'm finna go buy that shit on the PC. Nobody bought that bullshit. That's on the wood too.
It is on the wood, but it's still good.
That shit was wood too. Ain't nobody buying that. Nobody buying that shit. They you know what? Just because you know what I'm saying? Just because you have a bunch of exclusives don't mean all of them were bangers. No, who really talks about the order than us?
But the people that the PlayStation fans listen to the most, those people talk more about Xbox and other people than they talk about PlayStation. It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? They need to come listen to us more.
I agree.
Follow GRG.
Follow GRG. We talk about it all. We love it all.
Yeah, we don't play. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I can even get on my own kind.
How the fuck did Modern Warfare, when that shit released? Like 3 months ago?
Well, remember, is it modern? That's the old Modern Warfare, but remember, it also picked.
On here.
They picked up on sales as well. But anyway, let's get the hell out of here. All right, you know what this is. Hey, if you got, you know the slogan. Say this with me for the people that have been paying attention to GRG and follow us. If your ass ain't got to go to work tomorrow, then you need to be gaming. If you got to go to work tomorrow, then your ass need to be asleep. And if you ain't got to do neither, then you need to be doing only one thing, ladies and gentlemen. And what's that?
Dance hall, dance hall.
No, damn right, man. We are out of here, man. Everybody have a good one.
Multi-Platinum King, I see.
Yeah, Multi-Platinum King. Exclusives are definitely important, but man, we all know what this is.
But
we out of here. You know, when the slogan goes, it's time to go. Bye, y'all.
Fact.
Topic of the week. Make sure to join us every Friday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 6:30 Pacific. This was the GRG Podcast.